We're live. Oh my, we are alive.
Alive, yes. Yes, another busy week in the world of professional wrestling here.
Oh man, I gotta stretch it out before I think we start this. Oh Jesus. Oh. I've got a coffee here.
Oh yeah, nice cup of Joe.
Nice cup of Joe to keep me rolling.
Yeah.
Through a lot of content this week. A lot just going on. This happens every time there's a pay-per-view. Is like the fallout
a lot of other shit
from the pay-per-view is like longer than the pay-per-view itself.
Yeah. And then we had some stuff happen outside of the ring as well, and just a lot of crazy shit happening.
Oh my god, I don't even know what a weird thing to turn on Twitter to. I think we just got I think we got to open with whatever the hell happened.
Yeah. Let's just get into the scandal, if you will.
It was not a good week for that tag team, really. As soon as Naomi and Carmella came out, I'm thinking to myself, like, these two had a pretty shitty week collectively. One of the Usos,
Jimmy,
gets arrested.
Yeah, I just want to make sure Jay's clear. So it was Jimmy Uso. Got arrested. Did you hear the story about what happened?
He gets pulled over and tries to square up with a cop.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, that's not a good idea ever to do. So, yeah, I guess he started going into wrestling mode. Like, took his shirt off. Was like, "Come on, Oos, you want to do this?"
That would be crazy to see. I'm just picturing a cop. Like, imagine if a cop is kind of like a wrestling fan.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh my god, I'm getting pressed by Jimmy Uso."
He's like, "You want to go to the Uso penitentiary?" He's like, "Shit, I never thought I'd say that."
Yeah, that'd be fucking. He's like, "You ain't gonna lock me up. You're going to the Uso penitentiary."
You're going to the Uso.
But yeah, he's apparently WWE put out a statement basically saying like whatever they do in their personal lives isn't our problem. which is a good point, right? It's not. It is a good point, but it's kind of they've released people in the past for things that they've done outside of wrestling. So
right. Well,
anyway.
Well,
this wasn't quite. It wasn't like he beat his wife. This was between him and it's not quite as bad.
And I would think about it just like if you're watching the NFL or something. Players do get suspended for doing, minor things like driving infractions, or maybe had a little bit of weed on them, and might get suspended a couple days, right? But then the real bad ones, you do kind of get kicked out of the league.
Yeah, at least for a little bit sometimes.
It takes a lot to get kicked out of the NFL. Isn't that insane? It requires like they had to institute a spousal abuse policy because it was happening so much.
Too many of these guys, and it's getting caught on tape.
It was like your first one is like and they have it's like etched in stone. It's X amount of games for your first, and then like a full season for your second, and then third you're not playing again. Like they had to make it. That's beside the point.
Yeah, either way, it's these professional athletes. They're not as squeaky clean as they come off to be, but they're human like the rest of us. We all make some mistakes.
But I think part of the Usos gimmick is that they would square up with a cop.
Yeah.
So
no, they look like they're badass.
And kayfabe is not dead, Mike, despite what people say.
No, they keep it. It's in this
real. I bet that car was glowing as shit. Naomi's driving this car with neon lights under it. She has neon lights. They're just playing that like her song, or just playing her entrance music. Just
bring it to the floor. Yeah. And then the cops just wanted an autograph, and Jimmy got all pissed.
That is what happened?
That wasn't the only scandal though.
That wasn't the only scandal. Yeah, did you hear about this this actor on Empire?
Who?
This Justin something?
No, I don't even know what the show you're referring to. Empire?
Yeah, anyways, there's a show called Empire, and this guy's Jesse Smollett is his name. He's like one of the actors on that show. First information came out that he comes in and says he was attacked by like two white guys in Chicago who were like, throwing slurs at him and stuff like that, and put a noose around his neck, beat the shit out of him. So he files a police report, and then the cops look into it. They find the video footage of the attack, and then like as investigations are ongoing, they find who these two dudes are, and they're like these two massive like brothers. They're these two like big black brothers who they do more investigating and find out that they worked on the show that this guy worked on. And just as of this morning, the actor has been arrested for filing a false police report.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he was trying to promote, like they're saying, like he was trying to like promote his career. It's crazy. They're trying to say like he wanted more money and wanted like people to know who he was.
So it's just some crazy publicity stunt.
And they found phone records where he's like texting them saying like, yeah, so you like beat me up, like here, the cameras and whatever. He went on TV and like crying about how this attack happened. It was insane. But there's also some sexier news going on with celebrities these days. What a wild thing to turn on Twitter to, I think, like 20 minutes before the Elimination Chamber? I feel like it was.
Pretty close to it.
It was like immediately when it happened.
Yeah, Corey Graves' wife, a separated wife, got on the old Twitter and started dropping the hate.
Wow.
Exposing everything. So allegedly, I mean, they are separated. They're going through some sort of divorce trial. And Corey has started seeing Carmela. We don't know exactly how long during this time, but I don't know. Like, that's what it seems like to me. Like, they're already separated. So, like, yeah, he's moving on, and she's probably not happy that he's dating this girl that her daughter is like a hero or loves. Her favorite wrestler's car happens to be Carmela, which is kind of ironic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that video she posted, like Carmela wishing her happy birthday?
And she's like, "Hey, I want to wish you a happy birthday."
Yeah.
Because
it's a little bit.
That's the ultimate mom replacement move, right? Just replace.
Oh yeah.
It's like, do you want Carmela to be your mom? And then the daughter's like, "Fuck yes, I do."
Yeah. The mom's just like, oh. It kind of reminds me. Do you remember the Martin Brodeur family situation?
No, what was that?
I mean, he left his wife and married her sister.
What, Marty?
So he was once the kid's uncle. He became their daddy.
Oh my lord!
In some arenas, they would chant "Uncle Daddy" at him.
Ah, that's so weird. I always took him to be one of the like a nice guy, a good Canadian kid.
Yeah.
He just wants to get it in just like the rest of us, and I think that's what I appreciate now even more about him, regardless, is that he's like, yeah, I like to fuck.
Yeah, so Mela and Corey, that's your new... It was also revealed just recently that Charlotte and Andrade are dating as well.
No way.
Yeah, that's a bit of an odd couple, eh?
That's an athletic.
It's cool. Yeah,
that's an athletic bedroom, I think, is what it is. It's very.
He does it. Yeah,
there's a lot
His
of
English isn't the best, but she can teach.
There's a lot of quickness, a lot of heights, a lot of these just athletic feats that guys like you and I just aren't privy to, and I think that's the biggest takeaway from that.
Yeah.
Way to go. I also heard, I saw, so you saw Ty Dillinger requested his release.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean,
your perfect 10. I know you're a big Ty Dillinger fan, but I also just realized that he's like married to Peyton Royce.
Is he?
He is like, she posted a photo.
Peyton or Billy?
Peyton.
Oh yeah.
Not Billy Kay. Billy. I don't know about Billy Kay.
Yeah, no, Peyton's the more attractive one, right?
Yeah, she posted a photo of the two of them on a beach, and there is a big old rock on her finger. If you smell what I'm talking about, if you smell what I'm cooking.
Yeah.
So it's great. It's great to know. I really want to bring back that 90s or Attitude Era. Everyone's just fucking like. I think that adds a.
You're on the road together all the time. Like
it adds a real chemistry to the locker room. I think, right, when everyone's sort of Eskimo brothers and Eskimo sisters with each other.
Yeah, it is what it is. Life on the road.
Like I guess I don't know.
Some of them have families, so they should keep their willies clean. But the rest of you,
the
rest of you kids have some fun.
You. I wonder if it's like if the team hotel is, when they say like you go to like the Olympic Village and it's just condoms because they're all just top level athletes and all they do is just mate with other top level athletes.
Yeah, they're so jacked up
to further create more athletes.
Yeah,
I was always jealous of I always think the best or like the best categories to be in the Olympics are the ones where your entire competition is over in the first 2 days.
Oh yeah,
like you're right off the bat. So because then presumably you can just kind of stick around.
Yeah, like I'll just hang out in the village for a couple weeks
and just everybody. You're inside. And
if you win a medal, you just wear that the rest of the week. You never take it off. You just walk around the village. Everyone's slapping you on the back.
Yeah, exactly. Just hey,
that medal, like, hey, good job, buddy.
Hey, good job, buddy. And 2 weeks straight of your life, and then you go back.
No one ever hears from you again until 4 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably go back to like being a personal trainer because you just do bobsled. Like that's your your thing. I don't know when world qualifiers and bobsled happen.
Yeah, like unless you're already a famous athlete in another sport, you don't really get too much off the Olympic fame.
Yeah, I wonder.
Guys like Shaun White and shit, they already were something before they went in the Olympics, and obviously the basketball teams and those ones that are already in professional sports.
But you know what? I think when you donate money to the Olympics or the Olympics, Olympics Canada generates revenue. I think that just goes to kind of like paying for the athletes.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think it goes towards like your nutrition plans.
They spend so much to even just make it there. All the training and fucking sacrifices they got to give.
And
up.
who knows if they work at
just
Canadian Tire on the weekend, then that's just bonus cash for them.
Yeah.
Or maybe like I bet a lot of them like build fences and decks or something, like stuff that you have to work for. So it's kind of like you got to work out while you're working.
And if they're lucky, they get to be in like a McDonald's commercial or something.
Yeah, get your face on on an all box of Wheaties.
Yeah. Do people still do the Wheaties thing?
I've never seen them in the grocery store, so I couldn't tell you.
A long time. Yeah.
Mikey, it's time to move on to the Elimination Chamber.
Yes, the Chamber.
So last week, we had the Chamber coming to us from Houston, I do believe. Of course, it was the NBA All-Star Game this past weekend, so there was a lot of free arenas. And out of them all, they chose Houston's arena, which was no more free than the likes of Oklahoma City or Milwaukee.
Yeah, but no, good crowd. Good Texan crowd. I liked it.
Good Texan crowd. We're talking some deep South wrestling.
Deep South wrestling. I like how this show was kind of. I'm not saying the quality of the matches, but it was closer to the NXT formula and less matches, a shorter time, very short run time. Not everyone has to be on pay-per-view. Like guys like Seth Rollins weren't on the show tonight, and a couple other guys. It's like.
Yeah, and
I like it when a pay-per-view is just like 7 matches. Like this is good.
It was great, and there was even a match and there was even like a couple matches that I think didn't even have to be there, and then it would have been the same show.
Yeah,
it would have been the same show. Arguably a better show.
Did you watch the pre-show?
I did not, or I think I tuned in towards the end with only a couple minutes to go.
Well, yeah. Once again, no, I mean they don't get much attention during the rest of the month, but. Once a month on the pay-per-view, these guys kill it. Buddy Murphy, Tozawa, they had a great little match. The crowd was hot. But, Murphy gets the win. I hope he gets the same treatment as Mustafa Ali when he gets called up because he's doing damn good.
Shit, I don't even know. God, don't even. You said the word call up, and it's just bringing these
there's a lot of that.
to my brain right now.
Yeah. No, he's going to hold that title for a little while longer, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
but
why not? I think I saw recently that he just passed or is nearing the most days held.
Yeah.
I think something I heard. I think like beating. I think Neville currently has the most days held on that belt, and I think he's getting close to maybe beating it. So that's pretty cool. For a guy with red hair, as a fellow man with red hair, we just like seeing each other achieve stuff. It's why I'm always checking out Ron Howard movies. See, it's because I just want to support the fellow ginger. And
what's the latest Ron Howard picture that he released? Do you know?
The latest? Oh, I know it for sure because I'm not stalling.
Okay, what's your favorite Ron Howard?
I'm gonna say Solo was probably the last big one. That one happened.
I don't know it.
The Han Solo flick? You didn't...
Oh, the Han Solo.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think it was just called Solo, right?
Sorry, yeah. I was thinking of the Demi Lovato song.
But what? What?
Solo. I don't know. I wanna whoop whoop. Anyways.
Yeah, it was definitely Solo was the last one.
But
right. If you
I never saw that with Donald Glover.
Yeah, it's good. No, check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
it's and if that Grinch with Jim Carrey, that
was a Ron Howard picture.
That's a Ron Howard picture through and through.
Yeah, that was a good movie. That was way better than the Cat in the Hat movie. That's for sure.
That was certainly not a Ron Howard picture.
No. But yeah,
Ron Howard
to the main card.
Ron Howard has nothing to do with what this production though. We opened up with the inaugural tag Elimination Chamber women's match. Reorder put those words in a different order and they make sense. The Elimination Chamber, Mike, trivia time for you.
Sure.
Who invented the Elimination Chamber? I'm going to give you 4 options.
Eric Bischoff.
Eric Bischoff, final answer?
Is that one of the options? Yes.
That was one of the options, but no, it was actually
Chris Jericho.
He was actually going to be one of the other options. Mike, if you had just waited to hear all the options.
I think I'm mixing. Okay, yeah. I think I'm mixing my matches that were. Anyways,
Triple H. It was Triple H who came up with the Elimination Chamber, and it was Eric Bischoff who announced it on television.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what got me.
But super close. Who won the first Elimination Chamber match?
Shawn Michaels.
Hey, there you go. Because why? If you put over your best friend. If you invent a thing,
oh yeah,
I'd put you over if I came up with something like this.
Yeah, thank you. And if I was coming back from retirement, ending career, back-breaking surgery, and you'd let me win the world title.
I'd put you over.
Yeah, that was great, and that might still be one of my favorite chamber match. Shawn Michaels coming back after retirement, 4 years, he wins the world title, and it was awesome. Triple H wrestled the whole match with a crushed larynx because Rob Van Dam frog splashed him off the top.
No way, just went elbow to the throat or something.
Yeah, knee on the throat. He just landed right on him, and that was within the first 10 minutes. So he had to wrestle the rest of the match. Just
gargling.
Rob.
Jesus Christ. This match had no gargling that I know of, at least.
There's still, some good spots, though. But at the very beginning, I was tripping out because Mandy's teeth looked like they got fucked up. But
that was crazy. And you sent me that text, and I think I was sort of I was kind of cooking, and so I'm looking at my pan and then looking over the television, and then you're like, "What's up with her teeth? Oh my god!"
She looked like a meth head or something for a second.
Yeah, it looks like she didn't have her veneers pointy. In. It was super weird. But okay, what? So who started the match? I think it was
Sasha and Bailey and Sonya and Mandy.
Yes, and then
so they got the match started,
right?
And then the first team out was the Riot Squad, Liv and Morgan,
right?
And then they all just smack the shit out of each other. Then the Iconics come out.
No. I think the Carmella and Naomi team was eliminated first.
No, but. You're going in order of eliminations? I was just saying who was coming out of the chambers.
Oh, right on. Yeah, let's go for it. Go for it.
No. Yeah. So the Iconics come out when everyone's laid out, and they just go around the ring trying to pin everyone. And I thought that was pretty funny. They're just squawking. I love the way they squawk as they're wrestling. But then the Fabulous Glow, they come out. They're fresh. They do their spots, but they don't last very long. Billie Kay sneaks up on Naomi, rolls her up, and then Peyton jumps over top and double rolls her up. That looked pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
that was a good looking. that was a good looking roll up. You know what? That's some tag wrestling right there.
That's the kind of shit. This is the match that I'm like, yes, the Iconics, they're getting it.
Yeah.
So they celebrate, they dance together. I love how happy they are for each other, and how one little thing makes them so cocky. But then everyone surrounds them, and then the countdown starts, and Nia and Tamina come out. Boo.
To a chorus of boos.
Yeah. So the Iconics run off and hide in the little chamber pod, and Samoans just start running through everyone, and then they find them hiding. So they force the doors open, drag them out, and then pretty cool spot. They both like sling them back and forth into the cage at the same time, and look pretty cool. Throw them into the ring, and then it's funny. They're just like Billy and Peyton are just holding each other on the ground, like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And the Samoans finish them off with a double Samoan. But I just love it. They're so committed to each other. They're a great tag. They would never abandon each other. So they get eliminated.
That's what it's about, you know. And you don't when you make a team, you're just telling me that someone's going to turn on the other one.
Yeah,
you know.
No, I really like these two. They're not as quick in the ring yet, but they're getting there.
They're getting there.
They got the character work. But yeah, so they're out. Fucking Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan did this awesome crossbody off the top of the pod. That was sweet.
Yeah,
that's some big height for those girls.
That was a great spot. I mean, Liv Morgan can't be more than 5 feet tall. I mean, that's like
yeah,
two of her
like
jumping
huge.
2 things down. That's insane.
Yeah. Eventually, Nia hits Liv with a Samoan drop off the second rope. And then Tamina splashes Logan, so the Riot Squad's eliminated there.
So when is Sarah Logan not going to dress like she's in the War Raiders?
A Viking?
Like, I'm just
apparently, I think she's married to Killian Dane.
No. Nikki,
or is it one
that's
of the
Nikki Cross.
Is it Nikki? Okay, sorry.
But Sarah Logan's married to one of the War Raiders.
Is it one of the War? Okay, so then I think for them it's legit. Like,
Rowan
they're
or
really
Roe or whatever.
Yeah, like they're legit into this Viking shit. Like, it's not just a character.
Yeah, but what you do in your personal time, fucking drink all the rabbit blood that you want. But she's literally dressed, and it's like they're not even trying to. It's like she dressed exactly like she's in the War Raiders, and we watch
it.
Both.
Doesn't fit in.
Does not
like
fit in.
Liv and Ruby have the punk rock look going on.
Yeah, at least they have that little bit. Yeah, at least Liv Morgan has that. She'll wear the Converse and the pink hair and
the overalls hanging off, and she fits in.
Yeah, it's really a bummer to me. It's really getting me, which is why Fire and Desire for me is working so much more than the Riot Squad, sort of right now.
Yeah, and they Fire and Desire got a better push in this match, so maybe WWE agrees with you.
Yeah, if just fucking take off those rabbit pelts and get that goddamn face paint off.
If they let her do it, she's gonna keep doing it. So someone's got to do something.
Like who's in charge of this?
Let's get Ruby to take her to the tattoo shop and get some piercings
or just just put on some
leather.
Yeah, just leather pants and a black shirt, and that would be 100% more effective than.
Start wearing some eyeliner instead of that.
The face paint, like you're dressed like you're in the War Raiders. It's like you're not in the War Raiders, so don't dress like you're in the War.
Maybe they will match them up one day.
Sure, but one day.
Not yet. Anyway, so Riot Squad, they're out of there. So final 3, Nia, she starts running at Bailey, but Sasha pulls her out of the way at the last second, so Nia crashes right through the pod.
That was great. That was great.
That was a good spot. So she's out, and Tamina's like, oh, fuck. So Absolution and the Boss Hug Connection take advantage. They all attack Tamina, capped off by a top rope elbow from Bailey. Then all 4 women jump on her and pin her. So, woo! Unexpected a bit. The Samoans are out.
I feel bad for Tamina. Because either she does this where she has to take the pin to make Nia look strong, or she just has to stand beside Nia Jax when she's giving promos that the crowd is not into at all. We'll get to that. We'll get to that on the Monday Night Raw, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for her. I want her to just distance herself so much away, because Nia Jax is just this this sun, this hot sun of heat.
I do think they did have they did pretty well in this match though. The team, there wasn't really any big botches. They did the little power move shit, and they got eliminated here, so the crowd was happy.
Yeah, I think I found one
of the better performances from them.
That's true. Yeah, nothing.
Not that they didn't there's a lot of spots where they could rest and other people could do big stuff, but
I think I may have found one botch. I think when I was watching, and I didn't write, but I was like, oh, there you go. Or maybe
Yeah.
it was just like one of
Oh,
those
yeah.
bad camera cuts, when it's clearly what's that guy's Kevin Dunn's
Yeah.
fault. So many teams we have left. Well, we have the two teams remaining.
Final two. And the final two is the two that started it. So Sasha Bailey versus Absolution. Yes, they fought hard. Banks hits the backstabber into a Bailey to belly, but Mandy broke it up just in time. And then the finish finally comes down to, Bailey gets... Sonya throws Bailey right into the corner of the pod. And then Sasha takes out Sonya, but Mandy comes up from behind, throws Sasha into the pod, throws her in the ring, hits the, what's it called, Bed of Roses? The Angel's Wings? Anyways, her finisher, she hits it right in the middle of the ring.
That kind of looks like Ciampa's thing.
Yeah,
It's the same,
it is.
same
it is
thing,
the same.
whatever it is.
There's like three different moves. But she hits it right in the middle. So
Angel's Wings, that's what it's called. Yeah.
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 But Sasha kicks out at two. Holy shit. The crowd is going wild at this point.
Yeah.
Mandy picks up Sasha from behind. She's holding her. Sonya runs at her, but Sasha ducks at the last second, so she spears Mandy. This allows Sasha to get the bank statement on Sonya, but her inner shoulder makes her struggle, so she adjusts on the fly, modifies it, using her leg, gets the tap-out victory. The new first ever women's tag team champion, Sasha and Bailey.
The new first ever, just got showered with "You deserve it" chants.
Big emotional
celebration.
celebration.
And
I was happy for them. I was very happy.
of course, and they couldn't say much even after.
Yeah,
I think
like they were choked up. "You deserve it" chants. Crowd's pumped. They cut a brief little promo, just talking about like how long they've been fighting backstage for these titles, and everyone wants them. And it's not just for them; it's for all the ladies in the back, the whole division. This is just the beginning. So yeah, good start, good champions. I'm happy that we both kind of thought that they might have gone the heel route, but at the end of the day, I'm happy that the inaugural champions are a team that deserves it.
You know what? And that's
the best team.
And that's right. We were, we're so pessimistic, you and I. Mike.
Yeah, we were thinking cynical WWE book. We're like, they're gonna do their thing.
Or I was just thinking big WrestleMania moment. I think that's all I was thinking, right? I was like, let's make it on the grandest of stages. But yeah, you're right. To start it off, so I guess what this confirms to me the most is that we are balls deep on the Boss and Hug connection. We've given up trying a different name.
You and I or them?
There's them. They're definitely 100% them. Yeah, it's like they've closed the book.
No, that's the one. That's the one.
That is the one we're going with. Is the Boss Hug connection. It's not even boss and Hug connection. It's like apostrophe N. It's the way they're writing it here. Which is a bit of a bummer, but yeah, I love this match. This was great. The crowd was super hot. They deserve it. It was great to see, and of course later, like we saw all these like the 4 horsewomen of the apocalypse were all on this show. Which was great. Right?
Yeah, all in big moments, big angles.
All in big moments, right? And I think this really just solidifies that these are the 4 women. And now seeing Bailey and Sasha Banks really get what they really kind of being a part of their own picture is like, no, these are the 4 women who did it, who brought up this entire fucking division. And cannot say more great things about that.
Totally. And I thought this was good, a good push for Sonya and Mandy too, getting in the final. I wouldn't have picked them to be in the final too. So I'm
mad that we were going with this Fire and Desire now. I don't like that.
Is the name?
I think Absolution was great. It's one fucking word.
Wait.
Yeah, no, I was wrong. It's not Carmella and Naomi that's Fire and Desire. They've been calling Mandy and Sonya.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
But Absolution, they already had a fucking name.
Yeah.
And couldn't we just kept Paige like their manager? Could that not also have just
especially
worked?
now that she has nothing to do,
and now Mandy Rose is throwing like V triggers and fucking NXT shit into her like arsenal, and Sonya Deville's looking great. I think these two came out of the match looking awesome, and then we see them I think a couple days later. Maybe getting a little bit of heat on them. So great match all around.
For sure. And this leads the challengers wide open for WrestleMania. I'm personally hoping for the Iconics versus Boss Hug, but we'll see. Maybe even Mandy and Sonya can get the win at WrestleMania. We'll see.
Also a great way. I know this is like it's such a tough thing to like call. I mean they're gonna keep each chamber matches kind of like super far away. Like I anticipated one opening the show and one closing the show. I think it's hard to say. I think this really like had its most impact being at the beginning of the show. Maybe by the end of it, maybe the crowd would have kind of been tired out. I really don't know. It went by really quickly. But I think I think it was a great way to start the show. Was a big moment.
Yeah.
And which is great. So congratulations to everyone over there. Looking forward to seeing what's happening at Mania. Next up, we had the best tag team in the world of The Miz and Shane McMahon take on the Usos, or opposite rather, for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship, where the Usos get the win.
Yeah. So, right before the match, Miz brings up Maurice to announce she's having another baby.
Oh, that was nice. That was lovely.
Oh yeah, like the love is real between them. Like when she looks, like it's beautiful.
A lot of questions though. You know, when you see like a brother and sister, or I'm sure you have friends or something like that who, like, there's not a lot of time between the two siblings. Do you know anybody like that? Like, because your brother's a couple years older. Like, your parents had some time to like.
Yeah, 3 years in between.
Had some time to like, hey, he's now a little bit older, so now we can have another kid. But like, I know like someone who's like, it's like 11-month gap. It's like not even a full.
They just jumped
year.
Right back in.
Like they're both born in the same year, and it's like, are you really? Is that how that fucking happened? Like, you just go for it. But congratulations to Maurice and the Miz. It'd be great to see. God, you know, every time you're hoping for Maurice to jump back in the ring. Or
she gets knocked out.
Get re-involved in some kind of way, you know. She's got to go get pregnant.
Yeah. But, so the story of the match was Miz just kept forcing Shane to hit his big spots, the coast to coast. Second one, he got super kicked on the way down. And, later on, he gets him to do his elbow drop off the top rope through the announce table.
Yep.
Miz even did a springboard axe handle.
That looked good.
I don't remember him doing a springboard. And he even like reacted. He's like, holy shit, I did that. And then, the finish, Miz hits the skull-crushing finale on Jimmy, but he takes a second to roll him over. And when he does, Jimmy surprises him with a roll-up of his own. And the Usos win the tag titles for their 6th time.
They're 6-time champs? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, that's up there for the most. It's not quite but they're up there. Yeah.
These tag belts on both sides, they've been flopping back and forth. Remember, like, I feel like it was last year that it was almost like every month there was something new going on, and then they would switch brands, and then it would keep.
Yeah, especially Raw was the worst for that last year. So many paper champion, nothing champion.
I feel like there was 6 months where, like, in a 6-month time period, the belt went like New Day bar. New Day Uso bar. And you're like, shit, what the hell just happened? Everyone won it twice in the span of like half a year.
But so after the match, Miz is all apologetic, and then him and Shane just walk up the ramp together with their arms on each other's shoulders. So the breakup is not yet.
You know, but the end is nigh.
The end game.
You know, and of course this is you know, they would never have I don't think they would ever have a McMahon turn. So we would need the Miz to turn, maybe, if we want this match to maybe happen at Mania, or if you're still on Team the Miz, Daniel Bryan for Mania. I know there's a lot of those people out there.
That ship sailed for me.
Nah, that ships may have sailed, but it's still a match. Yeah. Still a match they can put on. With it's already the story's happened.
Yeah, no, I mean the story's there, but I think the fans want something else that we'll get to.
The fans want something else.
Before that.
The fans got something else next when there was a handicap match for the Intercontinental Championship when Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush took on Finn Balor. The odds were stacked against the Irish man in this one, you could say.
Yes.
He's Irish, somewhat. Right? Yeah, he's not Scottish.
He also used the odds to his favor, though. 'Cause Leo gets cocky at one point and tags himself in, so Finn just kind of blocks him from getting the tag back out, and that's when tides turn. Finn beats up both of them. He gets Lashley out of the ring, does the classic diving flip over the top, throws Leo back in, hits the shotgun drop kick and the coup de grace to win the IC title.
What'd you call that one? The shop and drop? Is that what you called it?
Shotgun drop kick.
Shotgun drop kick.
Yeah, that's the one where like he runs, kicks him, and they go flying back in the corner. And sets up.
And then they fall, and then they.
Yeah, I've heard them call that shotgun drop.
Classic Finn Balor maneuver.
Yeah, so good for him. He crowd popped. He gets a title again. It's been a couple of years. And after the match, Lashley slams Leo, but the next night they were back together, so it wasn't really a breakup.
So who knows what the hell happened there? Finn Balor gets a belt around his waist for the first time in a long time. Not the way I saw this going at all.
Yeah, but they kept it short. Crowd was happy, so yeah, I'm cool with it.
There was a last minute thought in my brain that to even out the handicap match, or Finn Balor gets help from an NXT friend of his.
Any particular one?
In the likes of Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens. I thought maybe I don't know, maybe that would be, there would be it would be 2-on-1, and then Sammy kind of pops out of there and helps him out, and I don't know, man.
They're due back.
They're due back soon. They're due back soon.
They're doing the promo, especially Kevin Owens been cutting all those silly promos.
Was that his kid? Can we assume that was his kid? That was
I think so.
Like, where's my change?
It's like $20 for that food.
$20 for fucking like popcorn.
What a little kid mood. Yeah, kid
you
mood.
Bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Great little match. Way to go, Finn. You got yourself a belt, and maybe the Finn Balor fans can finally just kind of
something to do for a bit.
Stop stroking themselves. I'm sure they're still going, though, because it's only been 4 days. They have at least a week of just fucking...
Yeah.
Anyways, what was coming up next, though? I don't even know what was up next.
The women. Charlotte, she comes out to watch the women's title match. And did you notice anything different about Charlotte?
She's looking good.
Yeah, she had her mole removed, her facial mole.
What?
She's, she had a big one for years, kind of on her chin there.
Of course.
I noticed it instantly. She came out for the promo. It was gone. And I guess they put some makeup over the scar or whatever, but it was clean, the cleanest chin you've seen. So she cuts a promo.
What the heck? No, I thought I was noticing like she's looked like she's put on a lot of muscle. That's what I noticed. I was like, shit.
No, the mole. She lost some weight. That mole is gone.
What the hell?
Nothing. Not that she was ugly because of it. I just noticed it. It's a defining feature, and it's gone.
Well, congratulations.
You'll notice it from now on,
Charlotte, for getting rid of that. I believe when it's on a woman, they call it a beauty mark. They don't call it a mole.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever you want to call it. You can call it your pal Jill if you want, but
is that what you'd call
it?
Anyway.
So she does her promo. She talks about Mania and disses Becky. Crowd chants for Becky. But we have a women's title match to get to. Ruby Riott versus Ronda Rousey. Did you notice Ronda's costume as she came out for this?
She had a different look. She had she looked like she was like a soldier.
Yeah.
With ammo packs or something.
This was based on the character Sonya Blade from Mortal Kombat.
Because, okay. So they're going balls in on this.
There's a reason. There's a reason for this. Ronda Rousey is actually playing the character Sonya in the new Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah, I heard about that, and I heard wasn't that Rumble. Selena Vega came out with a
that was just her own. That had nothing. That was just Vega.
There could be there needs to be a reason why WWE is pushing Mortal Kombat. Maybe there will be some kind of DLC where you can be like the Undertaker, but like with Mortal Kombat type of like actual powers and shit. Like actual summoning and. He's still doing tombstones and stuff like that.
Yeah. But no, honestly, I thought this was a great looking outfit on Ronda. I thought this was the best she's ever looked. I liked the long pants on her and that whole tactical. I don't know. I loved it. I thought she looked cool.
Yeah. It had a cool look. She's always just sort of been. She hasn't really had like an in-ring look. She's always just been Ronda Rousey, and that's why you're into it. But it was cool. Yeah, it looked pretty cool.
Yeah. So,
I don't think it mattered what she looked like though, because she just ripped through. Someone who you could say is like arguably should be someone getting a push, who just gets torn through in like a minute and a half or something.
Yeah. 1:40 was the official bell time, but yeah, poor Ruby, she just got quickly
why?
Off.
Why did it have to be Ruby? Why did it have to happen? That's also another question I have. Like,
especially
why did the match need to happen?
Because they had a much better night the next night on Raw. Like,
just crazy.
Pay-per-view wasn't short for time. It ended up going very short.
And why'd she get a rematch?
I don't know. We'll get to that.
I guess the only thing that I can say that actually worked for it is that we are pushing towards Mania, where we need Ronda Rousey to be unstoppable. So when she kind of goes into that match, it's a true, she's just kind of, we need her ripping through people in that same kind of way.
But then she struggled the very next night against the same.
Well, she's tired, I mean.
Ruby just got her ass beat.
Mike, you got to understand that.
I know why she's hurt.
You got to understand that in the UFC, sometimes there's hundreds of days between matches. Sometimes there's a year between someone's match because they can't find someone who's good enough, right? So Ronda Rousey's this grueling weekly WWE schedule just is too much for her to handle.
Okay.
I think that's the real takeaway here.
After the match is when the real shit happens. Charlotte gets in the ring. Her and Ronda, they're staring each other down, talking some trash, when all of a sudden Becky hobbles in through the crowd on her crutches.
Hobbles in through the crowd.
Yeah. And she gets right past, like, no one even tries to stop her. She just walks right through the security like she owns the place. She comes in, gets into the ring. They're all staring each other down. Lots of Becky and she's the man chants. And then Becky just throws a crutch at Charlotte and beats the shit out of her with the other one.
Smack!
Yeah, and Charlotte tweeted a picture after she had a big bruise on her arm.
Yeah, that was a big bruise. That would fucking hurt, dude.
That was real.
Dude,
and then Ronda, she's just kind of looking on.
Looking
on. And then Becky tells her to pick up the other crutch. She's like, have a go. So Ronda,
is that your Billy Kay, or is that your
No, that wasn't. I know that wasn't Becky, but
just have a fucking go.
Ronda grabs the crutch. She goes over to Charlotte, but then Becky nails her from behind in the back.
Smack.
And then just beats the shit out of her.
Well, maybe that's why she couldn't take on Ruby Riott so quickly the next night, right? She just got fucking beat in the back with a crutch.
Yeah, but Ruby got beat by Ronda. Anyways. Ronda got nailed. Her head was fucking bleeding after.
Yep.
Corey said something funny. He's like, send a mean tweet or something. This is not how you deal with things. Which was kind of pretty funny line. Then finally, officials come out and break things up. The crowd is super hot for Becky as she's escorted out by security in her like X-Men leather jumpsuit she was wearing here.
That was pretty cool. Yeah.
It was like a Kill Bill thing or something. She's like, yeah, I'm back for revenge.
On that note, we kind of we kind of skipped over the first kind of hour or so of Corey Graves doing commentary, because you were the one who brought it to my attention that he's not looking at the camera.
Yeah, at first,
that was crazy, because as soon as you said it, I could just see. So whoever was talking, if it was like Renee on the other end or Michael Cole or whoever it was, he was just staring at them.
Yeah. So, and like normally, they always cut to the shot of the table. They all look at the camera for a second.
And then look away, and then, and he just wasn't doing that. And he didn't talk for the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, like for when Carmella came out, he wasn't.
Carmella's entire entrance was just fucking silence because it wasn't Corey Graves just yelling, "You know what I'm talking about? Mella is money." Like, it just wasn't him screaming that for once.
Yeah, now it's gonna be Mella is mommy.
That's a good one. No, I hope. We'll just and to end. I think to end that, just high five to Corey Graves. I mean, we gotta say.
Oh yeah, I mean,
way to go, Corey Graves.
Could do a lot worse. That's for sure.
That's for sure. Not much better. Next up, we had a match that I kind of skipped.
Yeah, not much. I'll just give a quick.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
Just a quick for the audience. Corbin versus Strowman, no DQ. During the match, Drew and Lashley come out to help Corbin. They all beat up Strowman with chairs. They set up 2 tables stacked, bring in some stairs. So the finish spot was actually pretty cool. Triple powerbomb through the double tables. Corbin gets the pin and the win. Good looking finish. Rest of the match didn't care. Lashley, Drew, and Corbin Alliance are here. So there's that. Yeah, that was that.
I'm so I don't even know anymore with that. Yeah, with whatever happens in a Baron Corbin Braun Strowman feud.
I don't like how Corbin seemed to be the leader here. Like, why are they doing this for him? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Yeah, it was real tough, especially it was really tough watching a match like this happen on a pay-per-view. and then right beside a match that was on Wednesday night that happened, like two separate sets of dudes in two separate like situations, and like just like the difference between the two matches was like, oh my god, and we'll get to that a little bit later, but these two dudes, guys who just kind of come out of kind of go straight to the straight to the main roster, or like they're WWE guys. It's like they kind of wrestle this one way, or so they do things in this one way. And Baron Corbin, boy, are you doing it that one way. We did have the main event. The only match left here on the card was the elimination.
Right before this.
What I miss? What happened?
So at this point, it was like 9:30. I'm like, holy shit, this show's going to end pretty early.
Was Mojo Rawley talking to himself in a mirror again and I missed it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Lacey Evans came out. My girl. She came out for a second. She walked like halfway down the ramp.
Fuck yeah, you're right.
And then she just turned around and left. And I'm like, no, come back. But I thought she was going to come out, do a promo to kill some time since the show was like on pace to end early. But no, she just came out and left. And I don't know, maybe that's. I think they repeated that, so it makes sense now. But at first, I'm like, was that a mistake? Did they cut early or something? But
I think maybe that's going to be her thing. Is that
they did it on Raw.
Yeah, Lacey Evans actually isn't going to be like a WWE superstar. She's going to be what's essentially a runway model. So we're going to see her like on television every week, probably like 2 or 3 times a week. She's going to walk down the ramp, wave, and then walk back. I think that's the women's division is really lacking somebody to do that.
Yeah,
and I think she's
wanting more every time,
and she fills that role very well. So congratulations to Lacey Evans. Your call up is going great. Yes. We did end though. The main event was the anticipated Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship with all of those top motherfuckers on SmackDown. You know who they are.
Oh yes, this was We'll get to them. So Brian, he cut his quick little promo before the match, but the planet needs him. He's their hope. Same thing. He's got some new graphics on the screen. It was all like green.
I saw a little recycling thing. I was like, oh, that's cool.
That was I like that. The refs send Rowan to the back. Like, you ain't no. So match starts with Brian and Joe, and they just chop the shit out of each other. There was some rough raw chests by the end of this.
Yeah, even the next day he kind of had that ground beef, raw ground beef look.
But first guy out of the pod is Kofi. This is what the crowd wants. They instantly pop and start chanting for him. He does his backwards trust fall off the cage onto Brian and Joe. It was cool.
Yep.
AJ comes out next. He does his styling DDT moonsault. He catches Brian, and then Kofi comes in. He catches him with the other arm, so he does like a double DDT.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. And then poor Samoa Joe. He's the first man eliminated early on.
He's always the fucking.
Like before, the rest of the guys aren't even out of the pod yet, and he's just the main event whipping boy.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy's out next. He hits a swanton bomb off the top of the pod onto Styles, who was laying across the top turnbuckle. And then Brian comes in right after with a running knee on Hardy and pins him, so he's out. And then the final entrant, Randy Orton, he comes in. Styles goes for a phenomenal forearm, but Randy catches him while he's standing on the ropes and gives him an RKO off the top rope.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Eliminates AJ. So now we're down to the final 3. Kofi reverses an RKO, hits the Trouble Paradise to eliminate Orton. So now we're down to Kofi and Brian, what everyone wanted to see. So the crowd is just hyped up at this point.
Oh my Lord, they were so hot.
And I was hot too. I was like,
I was sitting on the couch and I was hot.
Yeah. So lots of chance for Kofi. He's super over here. They're into every near fall. Like we all want to see him win the title now at this point. Like you need it. So him and Brian, they have an awesome little match. Kofi even kicks out of Brian's running knee at one point, which has been an extremely protected move over the years. Not even seen it kicked out of that. So
ooh, okay.
Brian sells it huge. He's looking shocked. He grabs Kofi's arms and starts doing those vicious head stomps. But Kofi hits the Trouble in Paradise. But Brian gets out at 2, so the crowd is just going fucking insane now. All these near falls. Brian gets the label lock. Kofi gets the rope. Eventually, Kofi goes for a splash off the top of the pod onto Brian, but he moves out of the way, hits another running knee when he gets up, and that's the pin and the win. But what a performance from Kofi!
What a great final 2 dudes. The whole match was a lot of fun, but for something created so organically,
Yeah, like
organic.
a week or two ago, this wasn't even he wasn't even in the match. So
it really does just go to show how things get booked and how just the crowd wants what the crowd wants, and we're going to really kind of we determine what the hell we like it, and this isn't like some 2 months ago we're the authority shit. I mean
yeah.
I mean more like and that's something that the crowd wants to see Kofi do it. And then so they put him in a position for him to do it, and we're gonna be stoked. We're gonna be stoked every single time.
Yeah, at this point, like it'd be silly not to give him a title run here, like either at Mania or something. Like he's too hot right now. Let him have something. The crowd's dying.
He's too hot, right? And a lot of and we are wondering to ourselves who is Daniel Bryan's opponent at WrestleMania gonna be?
Yeah, that's a big question mark.
It's a big question mark, and I think the case could be made for guys like Kofi or The Miz. I'm still
Kofi is my number one guy for sure at this point. After the match, the New Day came out to console him, help him up, and the crowd just gave him a big standing ovation. Thank you, Kofi.
Thank you, Kofi. Kofi Mania.
He gets
that was the hashtag.
He got to close the show. The pay-per-view ended on the closing shot was on Kofi, so that's a good moment. And here's a weird fun fact: Kofi was the youngest person in the chamber, despite the 11-year veteran angle.
Really?
At the age of 37, yeah. Everyone else, Joe, Orton, Brian, they're all so.
That's wild.
Fun little fact.
That's wild.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the chamber. Great, pretty good pay-per-view overall. I thought, besides the Corbin nothing match, everything else delivered.
Everything else delivered. Kofi Mania. We're in the midst of it.
Like it ended at 10:15. Sometimes these things go to like 11:30. So I was happy. I'm like,
Yeah. Why not? Don't don't force a match just because you feel like you need to tell that part of the story. Because it's just further pushing that wins and losses don't matter.
Yeah.
It's like, we haven't seen the SmackDown Women's Championship or the US Championship in a little while, which really sucks, but I'd rather them keep it out of this pay-per-view so they can do something bigger and better.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
Bring those championships back in, and then the run to Mania, right? Let's not waste an Asuka Sonya Deville feud just because we need to fill time.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's like what I was saying at the beginning. Like, not every takeover, you're not going to see all the big stars. Sometimes guys just aren't on the card, and that's it.
Sometimes that's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, before we move on to the Raw SmackDown stuff, I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to refill my my coffee cup. So let's.
I'm going to go have a rip and play some Lacey Evans theme while I do.
Let's say we meet up here in 90 in a good 90 seconds.
Moment, yeah. I'll let the audience hear Lacey Evans maybe.
There you go. Are you just holding your phone up to the microphone?
For a second there I was. Yeah. Some
act like a lady.
Some break music,
I guess.
Like a lady.
Oh my god. Oh, okay, here we go. We're getting to Raw and SmackDown. Man, so Matt and I just purchased one of those vaporizers that blows into a bag.
Oh yeah, like the volcano thing.
Yeah, not volcano branded. Those ones are an exorbitant amount of money.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nuts. It's insane, dude. It's
so you have it already. You've tried it.
Yeah, it came in the mail last week.
Sweet.
So that's all we've been doing for the past.
Oh yeah, just 100% that. No,
100%
no bongs,
that.
no nothing.
No, well, I broke the bong. I smashed it by accident.
Oh, you broke?
I kicked it over by accident. So we are.
Yeah, it happens.
It's our own. It happens exactly.
Yeah.
So it's our only device.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
get on it, Mike? Get on it.
Yeah. You like it better? It's your preferred method now, or what?
Well, it is the only method that I'm doing right now, right? Because
Well, yeah.
it's the only thing I have.
I
Right?
get
mean,
that,
still
but-
love bongs. Of
I mean, if
course.
you had them both, you go back and forth, or what?
I'd probably go back and forth because you can hit a bong before, like, let's say if you're walking to the mall, you're walking to work,
Yeah.
or you can have a quick little, and then
Yeah,
you're on your way. Put in your music and you're good. But these things you have to let it cook.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah. No, I've tried one.
you need
Bag before.
you need kind of like at least 10 minutes, and then if you'll just do like if you do 2 bags. See, that's the other thing. Like, I really go for it. Matt,
It's a bit of a different high too, I find. Or it's
yeah.
like,
Matt will
it's a
come
different-
in and I'll just like have loaded a bag for myself. He's like, "You just did a whole fucking thing by yourself?" And I'm like, "Yeah." What do you mean? Of course I did.
Yeah. What else?
What else am I supposed to do, right? Here's what else I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to watch some wrestling, because on this show here, folks, this is that's what we do on the show. This show isn't about talking about smoking pot or
No, we can throw it in though. A little real
whatever
world stuff here and
rambling
there.
we had going on in the beginning. Like, this isn't about how our days are going or how our weeks are going so far. What is important on this show is currently what's important on the show is Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw opened with the game himself, Triple H, coming out to essentially just give us like a Cole's Notes recap of Elimination Chamber Part 1.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Yeah.
What if I didn't watch Elimination Chamber and I just kind of wanted to know what happened? It was fantastic. He also announces that there will be the debut of 4 of our favorite NXT stars. Ricochet, Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah. So I just want to say that's 4 out of the 6 I predicted last week. So I'm doing pretty good so far.
4 out
For
of
the call-ups. I mean, these aren't official call-ups, but this is they call it their main roster debut. So
Yeah. Right. Well, who were the other 2 that we had? I think we had a Kairi Sane or a
Kairi
Shayna
Sane
Baszler.
and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, those were the 2.
Because they're showing right now that they're not afraid to put champions on the show. So
So this was great. We kind of got announced 4 people who we like to see are coming up.
Triple H also put himself over announcing DX is going to the Hall of Fame.
Oh yes, missed
Including
that.
China.
The first of this year's Hall of Fame nominations, D-Generation X, the
Yeah.
first iteration, I guess the OG or iteration of that, which does include.
So they're putting in both. They're putting in both versions.
Oh, okay. Like so
Yeah.
so Hornswoggle's
So Triple H, Shawn
Hornswoggle's going?
Michaels, X-Pac, Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, and China.
What about Hornswoggle? What about that? What about that run?
No.
Okay.
He was just their little little dummy to kick around.
Which does
Anyways.
mean that China is making her way into the Hall of Fame. It was
I
really nice
think-
to even see Triple H be the one to announce that.
Yeah.
The
I think
the
this is
eighth
their
wonder
way
of
to
the
kind of
world.
do it without having 100% spotlight on her. They kind of like sneak it in.
Okay, now here's my question. So if DX gets put in the Hall of Fame, that means
Yes.
Triple H is in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, so you
Now-
can be a 2-time Hall of Fame.
So let's
Ric
say
Flair's-
Evolution are they in the Hall of Fame?
No, not yet.
Okay, so let's say
But they will.
So then he becomes 2-time. Now can he
Yeah.
become like a singles? Because he's
Yeah.
obviously a singles dude. Is
Yeah.
Triple H or you mean even Ric Flair for that matter with Evolution? Is there a chance that these guys will be 3-time Hall of Fame
I'd say there's a good chance.
And
Because now Ric Flair's the only. Right now, Ric Flair, he's in it on his own, and he's in it on the 4 Horsemen.
Mm-hmm.
And Shawn Michaels is about to become a 2-time with this one in the DX. So yeah, 3-time. That's definitely possible and probable.
it's definitely possible and probable.
Yeah,
So
Evolution will go in.
Evolution will go in. So we're excited to see these. Back to what I was saying. Excited to see these NXT people come in.
Yes.
Eventually, no, it's all good. Eventually, they will, and it was weird. We saw 4 NXT, or we actually saw a couple more NXT people on this show, but we didn't see EC3, which is odd.
Yeah.
For someone who was announced, and shit, I don't even know what the hell's going on with Lars Sullivan.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever see Lars Sullivan.
It sounds like that just won't happen.
There's some. Have you ever heard? I don't want to get too deep into things, but have you ever heard about some Lars Sullivan? Some of his questionable things he's done.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. So people apparently they found his account on like this old bodybuilding forum,
Okay.
And it's like they confirmed to him, like, I guess he posted pictures of like him working out or lifting muscles, and yeah, this account just posts like some of the posts were like some racist things about black people and like some like neo-Nazi shit, like him supporting this band. I don't know. Anyway, this just things on the internet, but I feel like maybe that could contribute. Like maybe that's part of his anxiety is if once he gets to the main roster, if these things come to light, he's kind of worried about that shit.
That's a good point. However, just to play devil's advocate, Triple H did tell Booker T that people like you don't deserve a world championship.
Yeah.
So I mean,
really
anything goes. Anything goes.
Yeah. But anyways, that's just a little inside dirt. That's all.
Little inside dirt. This isn't a dirt. Isn't a dirt show, though. I think.
Little
this
dirt,
is,
though. Little dirt.
Of course, I mean, the sheets are out there.
I'm just telling you what I'm hearing.
Uncle Dave is getting his information and he's letting us know about it. Before Triple H does leave, though, he announces that there will be a tables match between Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin. I could not think of something that I was more disinterested in.
So what?
Like, I skipped through this entire match, dude. I just couldn't do it. Strowman actually ends up getting the win, putting Baron Corbin through a table, but oddly enough, without the help of Lashley. Lashley and Drew McIntyre didn't show up at all after just helping their buddy out the night before. Don't really know what was going on. But, it was a tables match, so, gimmicks are fun.
Yeah, and then the less said about it, it's fine with me. So
Braun Strowman gets the win. He starts moving up the match, and then we hear the ominous ahems of the advocate Paul Heyman, who comes out, who just kind of gets like pressure pointed by Braun Strowman. This was the weirdest thing. Braun Strowman just kind of walks up to him and just kind of puts his hand on his trap a little bit.
Yeah, he grabs him and then releases him. That's it.
Like, what the hell's going on? It's like, is he going to choke this man out on live television? Is that what's going to happen? But no, Paul Heyman does a little ranting and rambling, and we get a Brock Lesnar video package that kind of includes UFC clips and clips from his NCAA days. I think we get the part 2 of that a little later on. Didn't really make me more excited for this match for WrestleMania. So it didn't really build the heat for that. One thing it made me unexcited for, is that a word? Unexcited?
Yeah, it's fine.
Is I don't like putting finishing moves as a verb. They said F5'd. Like it was like an it was like an action, not a noun, and it was like, and Paul Heyman kept saying like, you get F5'd, and it just doesn't sound it doesn't sound intimidating at all. That's just a little nitpick. You say like, yeah, the motherfucker takes you to Suplex City. You're like, shit, like that's what's going on. But you F5'd.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
Definitely rework it.
But no knock against any of it. It's just, maybe.
No, that's a fair nitpick. That's what we're here to do.
That's what we're here to do. It just sounds weird. Because remember, I'm always trying to think, especially when I'm watching Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, I'm always trying to think about that. Or one thing that I always find going through my head is that person who's flipping through television and they just happen to stop on whatever's happening on the channel, right? It's like, I always like to think about something like that, right? Like, how could someone get in? How could someone get into this, right? I have all these friends. I have a bunch of friends over for pay-per-views who don't watch wrestling, but I'll tell them like, hey man, I'm going to do this. Want to come over and hang out? Yeah. And so I always try to see how people who have no clue what the hell's going on interpret things. And that could be something that they'd be like, what's getting F5'd? And I'd be like, oh my god, it wouldn't even make sense. We move on from these video packages, though. Not going to be the main event of WrestleMania. We don't hope, but it'll certainly be probably. They'll call it the co-main event.
We want to they've called it the main event a couple times, but it's the women. But we want Seth to slay the beast, so everyone will be happy as long as that happens. So
next up, we see Finn Balor getting his victory lap. He comes up with the belt around him. Everyone's happy.
He talks about he's proud to continue the legacy. The likes of Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair have held the belts. Then Little Leo interrupts him and Lashley. Lashley attacks him from behind while he's distracted. And then Ricochet comes out to make the save.
The one and only Ricochet. It was a fun match. Ricochet wore a shirt, but I got over that pretty quickly. It's crazy as somebody, and this is one thing I've never noticed so hard, and I'm sure they're doing it for other people on the show, and maybe this is 100% just a Michael Cole thing, but I've never been so aware of someone from NXT already and then had them so over-explained to me on the show. And tell me if you felt the same way. Is that every single time that they were doing what they're supposed to, right? They're trying to pump him up and make him seem like this dude. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. I know that Ricochet is this, this aerial dude, this incredible athlete, this, like, he's charismatic. I know all these fucking things. Let me watch him be those things.
Yeah. No, they definitely are guilty of that, and it's kind of funny.
And also, oh my god, yeah, no, these call-ups. I'm sorry, I'm coming in hot about these call-ups.
No, good, yeah, I like it. These are very good wrestlers, so we got a lot to say.
There's a lot to say. A lot of people aren't really happy with the way that call-ups have worked in the past. With guys, Finn Balor finally winning a championship. even the likes of Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn, Neville was out. People we're wondering if we know how to use these guys properly. One of the craziest things I never thought of before was not even their in-ring performance, it's how they're sold to us. And for whatever reason, because I've always associated Mauro Ranallo with NXT dudes, I find his ability to call their action better. Hearing Corey Graves describing what Ricochet was doing was just not working for me. At all.
I just love Mauro anyways. Like, I think he's
100%. He's
best
the best
on the WWE company.
He's one of the best commentators at all. It's really funny. Listen to him doing like actual like boxing or
he was
MMA
picked to call Mayweather McGregor. Like,
listen to him
one of the biggest fights in the history of the world.
Listen to him actually call fights like that. He called the most recent heavyweight bout also Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. It's kind of funny to hear him on both sides. He's just as enthusiastic.
Oh, I love him. I love him.
But he uses just as many synonyms. The play calling for this one was what kind of burned it for me.
I think it's funny because I think I kind of just tuned them out now. So like I just kind of watch the match and I don't, because I remember before I'd watch some pay-per-views. My buddy'd be over and he couldn't stand JBL. He'd just be telling me, did you hear that? I'm like, no, actually, I think
I didn't hear.
At this point, I just tune them out and I'm just watching the match.
It's
no, they definitely do fucking just great on you sometimes.
It's really funny that everything that we watch, whether it's WWE or New Japan or we're watching PWG or Impact or something, right? There's kind of like these two universes in which it exists. And it exists in the people who are there live, seeing it happen, and then the people who are watching it at home. And like that disconnect can be so that if we are the ones watching it at home, like we are meant to experience the commentary also. Sometimes it can be good. Sometimes it can be very, very good, but sometimes it can really take away from a lot of things. And I think that's just sort of part of like what we're subjected to. If we're not watching it live, this is now part of the experience. It could just be Michael Cole. Like, I just don't want to hear his voice and this new crop of talent. Mm-hmm. It could be that. I'd rather take Tom Phillips. If we're talking pure,
Tom Phillips, he's clean. He does his job. He doesn't.
Which is funny.
He's not over the top.
It's funny that you are able to tune that out because I've often associated like watching the Leafs or watching Raptors so much with the people who are talking about it. like watching, if I'm watching the Raptors on television, I'm waiting for
that garbage out of here.
Exactly, I'm waiting for Jack Armstrong because he's part of watching.
No, definitely. Like, I think if it's good, like Mauro, I always notice Mauro when he's going on. He's like, oh my God, Tope Suicida! And he's going crazy. And I love it.
Yeah, very much so.
Mamma mia!
This match was fun, though. Balor and Ricochet end up getting the win.
Yeah.
The crowd was super
splash.
The crowd was flat.
The crowd was terrible for Raw. They were much better on Tuesday on SmackDown.
Now, were they
like,
both?
It wasn't just the NXT guys. Like, they were flat for everything. I felt.
Were they both in the same? Were they both in New Orleans?
I know.
I know SmackDown was.
I think it was close.
They mentioned that a couple times.
Yeah, I don't know if it was directly in New Orleans. I think it might have just been like really close to. Anyways.
Yeah.
But SmackDown was a much better audience. But yeah, Ricochet hit the 630 splash, amazing looking move, gets the win.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I think so we see both these call-ups like on both nights. I definitely I think I enjoyed myself more on SmackDown watching these call-ups.
Me too.
Just in general. But next up we had just a match. After that, I won't skip over right past that so quickly. It was we did have Lucha House Party beating Hawkins and Ryder.
Yeah,
just kind
losing streak continues.
Filling up some time. This was fine for me, but it's we have what we could say an uninspiring tag team reuniting.
Ryder and Hawkins.
Yeah, we sort of have these things together. A lot of people behind
that's
us,
their
but
gimmick because they're just going to keep losing until they finally get the big win.
The WrestleMania moment, right?
Yeah, if they lose at WrestleMania, then I don't know what they do. But I don't know. Do we want them to beat the Revival for the titles?
Dude,
Only
this whole tag division is just like it needs a jump start, and we're just going week after week with no jump start.
Well, we've had the Revival.
That's true. Yeah, sorry. We did have
last 2 weeks.
We did have a Revival, but I was looking more like the rest of the pool for like the rest of them.
There's no contenders right now.
Yeah.
To go with them.
After this match though, the woman, the lady of WWE,
Charlie?
Is that what we call her? The lady?
Charlie? I think her name's Charlie.
Charlie?
Charlie Caruso on the ramp. Interviewing Heavy Machinery.
One of the robots
that's
was
the lady
talking to Otis and Dozer.
Yeah. So Tucker says,
that's what it is.
he's like they're blue collar solid. They work hard. They sweat at the gym, and they follow it up with a big plate of red meat. And Otis, he's like, steaks and weights, Tucker.
Steaks and weights, baby.
Yeah,
so that'll be on a shirt.
Yeah.
Next week.
But then Lacey Evans comes out next. Yes. So I was pumped. And then she turns around, heads back up the ramp. So, oh man. But yeah, I get it. That's her tease. She's going to do that for a little while.
This was bizarre segment for me.
Then Heavy Machinery, they walk up and down the ramp and they circle around her like the bushwhackers. And then,
I couldn't tell if this was just sort of trying to get the three of them on television, or if like at best maybe this was an attempt to have Lacey Evans as a manager for the two of them. Like at best maybe. I don't really know what the point of having three people say nothing.
I think it was just her. She just to get her reaction to being around these weirdos.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm down for any reason to make it sound like there was a reason.
Yeah, no, her whole thing is like being in WWE is nasty, and she's all clean and proper.
But why isn't she cleaning it up yet? Like clean up Carmella's trash, clean up Naomi's trash. Like there's a whole division over there of trashy
I know.
people.
Hey, they need to do something. I guess they're gonna eventually they'll let her talk, and then. I don't know. I got big plans.
Yeah, no, exactly. Big plans, but let's make them happen.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Trust me, I'm with you.
Next up, we had a little backstage moment of Chad and Gable talking to
poor Bobby Roode.
talking to what is DIY about getting a title shot. The Revival comes in, doing their Revival thing. They're great. They're a team. They're on the same page.
Yeah, a big NXT reunion here. All 6 men from NXT.
Oh, really? That's fun. All six. And a couple champions in that room of multiple belts. I think.
Yeah, everyone's had a title at some point.
Every one of them held something, which is super cool. But what it does lead to is a match between DIY and the Revival.
Yeah, and like we said, a little disappointing crowd reaction, but. Like some city, if they were in the right city, the crowd would pop huge for this. They'd be loving it.
Yeah.
There'd be NXT chants.
Rematch. This is a rematch, a few years old now. I think it was. I think you saw this match. I think.
Unfortunately, I didn't see it at the NXT pay-per-view. I just went to Survivor Series that year.
Okay.
I watched it on television.
Yeah, I think that was the match. I think that's where they had their previous one. But anyways, Gargano or DIY rather get the win, get the pinfall win over the Revival.
Yeah, they beat the champions clean.
Beat him clean in what was very much a great tag team match.
Yeah, the crowd did warm up to by the end of it, they were enjoying the match because how can you not? With talent like this, just like their stuff on NXT, great chemistry.
And it's
crazy. It was a good surprise seeing them here. This is tag team wrestling. This is the stuff we like.
it's crazy to see a team or two teams come back from probably over 3 years of never seeing each other to put on a great television match, kind of like right off the bat. Like I'm not sure how long they had the sort of NXT call-up plan thing going on.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like this was just kind of
thrown in there, which is which is real cool. And so hats off there to DIY for getting the win. A bit of an odd choice, especially the rival have had the belt for like 1 week now.
Yeah,
and I think this might have been their first. This might have been their first match with the titles, and they lost it.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna see Ciampa and Gargano on the main roster within. Well, I mean, I think we're gonna continue to see them on the main roster for the next couple months, and then permanently after.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny. We're kind of getting something that we asked for. This is something that you and I did talk about. Was getting people
cross promotion,
getting people move between brands. Of course, they're going to start with the biggest dudes, and this way, spending time on bringing these already over NXT people over to the main roster. Now we have time to get people over in NXT.
Yeah,
because we don't have to spend as much time on what Gargano and Ciampa are doing, because they're also doing it somewhere else, which is great to see. And this is not the last time we see these two guys this week.
No, definitely not.
Coming up next, though, we did have a Sasha and Bayley sing-along happy moment.
Yeah,
Bayley's getting me with these stars over her face.
You like them or you don't like them?
Yeah, I thought they were actually the first actual thought I had was that it was a face tattoo. That was the first actual thought I had. I was like, no fucking shit, she did that.
Yeah, right. Imagine Bayley. That'd be crazy.
Oh yeah, dude. You know what? These kids these days.
She's not one of those kids. She's a good girl.
They came out to give their little hoorah. Bayley did say the first ever WWE Tag Team Champions. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, I did.
And then I was like, "Whoo, way to go, guys!" Which was just kind of funny. That was more just kind of made me giggle.
Yeah, no, I love these belts though. They look great.
They look great. They really look like those. Or for me, they have that IWGP look.
Yeah. And the each title had 2 separate side plates, one for Boss and one for the Hug Bayley.
Oh, that's fun. They don't do. Do they do that with the?
No, normally it's just one. This one they had one of each, so it was nice and unique. They each had it.
Well, you know what?
The Boss Hug.
Yeah, it's the 2 of them. Oftentimes on the men roster, I think like the teams are already teams. Besides like Chad and Gable, most teams, like the Revival, that's their look. Uso, that's their look. New Day, things like that. We get interrupted, though. Celebration doesn't last for too long when the Samoan Slaughterhouse comes out.
Yeah,
and this was the feeling bad for Tamina moment. Like, I saw her standing there with a microphone to a dead crowd to a promo that was not working. And I'm just like, oh, no. Like, I just feel so embarrassed. It's like you're somewhere and, like, somebody who you're with starts, like, yelling at somebody or chirping somebody. And you're trying to like diffuse the situation. You're like, guys, just stop it. And I just feel like Tamina going through her head, she's just like, Nia, stop, please, stop.
This is awkward.
This is awkward now. Stop. So of course it sort of seems like they will be the first team to step up and take on the champs. Maybe at Fastlane, maybe save that for WrestleMania. But yeah,
one thing they mentioned, Sasha and Bayley, they said they're gonna to defend them anywhere, Raw, SmackDown, even NXT. So it'd be cool to see, see these belts on a takeover.
That's great. And it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. Like we're saying before, is that it takes all of these women the ability to kind of take themselves out of the picture. Like I won't be worried when I don't see Sasha and Bayley for a week, because I'm kind of like, okay, they're going to pop up on another show next week, or
exactly.
Yeah. And I think we understand that if they're one belt between 2 or 3 divisions, whatever it might be, like we get it that they're not going to be around every single show.
Yeah. And slight spoiler, I've heard that they showed up at the recent NXT taping this week. So
son of a bitch.
Not necessarily for a match or anything, but they just showed up.
No spoilers on this.
Slight spoiler. No, just for the sake of the intro. By the time this comes out, it might already be old news.
It could be old news. So hopefully SmackDown women don't get lost in this kind of shuffle right now. But yeah, it'd be great to see an open challenge, just somewhere on SmackDown Live. It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, let's push these titles.
Coming up next, we had a little weird segment when Drew McIntyre, I guess he's talking to Triple H and he wants a shot at Seth Rollins. Right? That's what happened. And then Dean Ambrose showed up and
just smacks him.
Just kind of hit him, I guess. Yeah,
just slaps him in the face. Want Seth.
It was kind of a bit of a weird one. It does set up what ends up being a Drew
squash.
Dean.
He just wins in 2 minutes clean.
Squash. And again, I'm still okay, so
Dean's gone. That's my
we see Dean Ambrose for another week on our 1 to 10 scale, 1 being this is a work and he's staying within the company, and 10 being this is definitely not and he's gone. Where are you on the scale?
9 or 10. I'm at the top.
Oh shit, you're at the top.
I think he's done. I think he's done.
See, it's really funny. We see this squash with Drew and Dean, a match that we've kind of seen before, I think, in the past couple of weeks. But this is no different than every other match on the card that we see week in and week out, whether it be Drew and Baron Corbin, or this is no different than the shit that we already see. I don't think this is any more of a reason for us to be worried that Dean's actually leaving.
I'm not worried. I just believe it all along.
Believed it all along.
Yeah.
God, whoever's right.
What's the point? The baby face picks the fight and then he loses this quickly.
Dude, but that shit happens all the time. That shit happens
with
all
a baby
the time.
Usually it happens with the heel. Like Corbin will pick a fight and then he'll lose.
Anyway, whoever's right though, this is
if this didn't happen, I'd still think he's gone.
This is going to be the first big test of the show, or the first big thing that I think you and I are very different on. Usually you and I can see.
It's fun though. It's fun to see.
Usually you and I can see each other's side, but with this, I think it's like now we're drawing lines in the sand.
It's whatever. All we can do is see how it plays out. That's all we can really do.
Coming up next though was a special live acoustic set. By Elias. Elias comes out, demands his normal treatment, which is tough in a crowd that was giving you nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, that was real tough. However, Aleister Black comes out for some reason.
He got his full pop-up coffin type entrance thing, which is cool.
It was cool, and the candles, and they give him the smoke and stuff.
Yeah.
Black ends up getting the pin over Elias.
Yeah. At one point, Elias called the crowd a bunch of Cajun yokels. That's pretty funny. Black wins. NXT stars get the clean sweep tonight, so they all look good.
4 for 4. They made themselves look great and made their opponents look bad.
They announce. Whoops. Yeah.
I was going to say, Aleister Black is this kind of confusing thing where us fans of his through NXT are really we're cool with him face heel doing whatever. We just like seeing him, right? We're fans of him. Where it seems like in these main roster things are very much one way or the other. And Aleister Black has this look that suggests that he's full heel. Right? He seems is he dark and brooding because he wants revenge, or is he dark and brooding and keeps the powers of evil and good balanced?
He carries a heavy burden by
exactly. He's been to hell. That's why he's here to save. It's going to be real interesting to see which direction they do choose to put him on the main roster.
Yeah, I think they'll lean more towards the baby face. They won't, he won't be the super Bailey, John Cena type baby, but they won't make him a bad guy.
Yeah. It'll be great though. It'll be great though to see that. We get that black mass. We get that little move when he flips and sits down in his leg.
Lands in his seating position, which
is always cool. Nice, I think we saw Ricochet do the other one also, where he lands his superhero landing.
In his knee, the Tim Tebow type thing.
Yeah, it's almost like a Tim Tebow. Which is great to see Aleister Black doing stuff. We end off with our main event though of Monday Night Raw, which was Ronda Rousey
rematch. Yeah, Ronda versus Ruby Women's Championship rematch.
A rematch for some reason.
Much better. Much better match than the night before. Like it actually got to go like 9 minutes or something.
Yeah, it got a normal amount of time.
Yeah, Ronda was back to her regular look, so I was a bit sad I didn't get to see the Sonya outfit again. But yeah, Riot Squad was at ringside to help. Ruby hits a great looking spear. Partway through, the crowd chants, "We want Becky." Yeah, Ronda kicked out of the Riot kick. They keep distracting her. Ruby hits a Riot kick from the turnbuckle, but Ronda still kicks out. So Ronda dives off the turnbuckle onto all 3 Riot Squad members, and then she finishes Ruby with a Sonya Blade combo into the armbar for the tap-out win. But hey, Ruby got to main event Raw, so that's still a pretty cool moment for her. Not many women have done that, so...
That's a good point. That is a good point. It was nice to see Ruby Riott not get like absolutely steamrolled. Also,
yeah, way better than the pay-per-view match. And then after the match, Liv and Logan attack Ronda, but she just fends them off and stands tall.
Yeah, just fends them off and stands tall because she's letting us know whether you are a member of the Riot Squad or whether you're a member of the War Raiders, like I can take you out.
Yeah, so this was the first week in a while we did not see Becky. She's gone, but they announced next week is Ric Flair's birthday celebration. So
something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen.
Becky's gonna do something to that old man, and
Becky's gonna kill Ric Flair.
Yeah, break that old bag of bones
in the ring. Yeah, and it's it would have been too much. It would have been a jam-packed show with these NXT call-ups. Hopefully, I'd love to see one of the women get called up sometime soon, whether it be Shayna Baszler or give Bianca Belair a match. Why not?
Yeah, Belair.
If we're calling people up, let's get them in the ring. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm always down. I love the women's division.
You do.
NXT. Yeah, no, they're great. But yeah, on to SmackDown, the blue brand.
The blue brand. Blue's always been my favorite color. My eyes are blue, and I get in trouble when my eyes are red.
Yeah, red eyes would be scary.
What was that?
Albinos.
You had a joke one time about red eyes, or like a song about red eyes.
Oh, yeah.
When we were the
raindrops keep falling on my head.
But that doesn't mean that my eyes won't.
My eyes will be turning red, and there's something about like smoking weed in the rain, and his eyes. I don't know.
Wait, are those the actual lyrics to the song?
What?
Were those the actual lyrics to the song?
Yeah, the real song, like raindrops keep falling
but
on my head.
And then
that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. That's the song.
That's the actual lyrics?
That's the real words.
Oh, man, I thought that was you being funny.
No, it was both.
It was both, because it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blue's always been my favorite.
It's funny that you just randomly think of that.
No, yeah, of course,
That's
dude.
Like 10 years ago.
Oh, I remember
Great
those.
Oh yeah, no, I remember all those.
Those Sororan Park days.
Exactly, that's where it
very
was.
Fondly. Yeah, it's funny. I remember. I've walked past Queen and Sororan a couple times.
Yeah.
Since moving to the city, so look up the street, and I'm like, oh boy, there we go. And I remember
I remember we were just blazing, and there was always like cop cars parked down there.
Always, yeah, and this was like 10 years ago.
This was when it was still illegal, and we were just young kids.
And I remember being in high school, and one of the days, you, Lewis, and Sam were coming up later, so James and I. You guys were coming up 6, 7 p.m. But James and I had the day off, so we took the streetcar there, and I can't even imagine doing that, but we did it. But I can't put myself in the head of hey, James and I would have somehow gotten to the subway and then somehow gotten to Queen.
All that work, yeah.
And pre-smartphone, so you're just trusting the fucking MapQuest thing.
I remember, so many times just waiting for the bus and just hoping it's the right schedule and it's gonna show up. And
God,
yeah, man, those journeys down to the city, those are fun.
You want to talk about journeys, though? One of the biggest journeys that a man can go on is that relationship with his father.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that's where this is going, because The Miz comes out or Shane McMahon comes out to open up SmackDown Live. He pumps up these NXT superstars also.
Lets us know they're going to be there tonight. So woo! Crowd actually cheers,
which was great. We're in New Orleans on this night, which is a big wrestling town. They are fortunate. They've had a couple WrestleManias, including the Daniel Bryan
Yep.
big a Mania.
Yeah, one of my favorites. And then last year, I think, was New Orleans as well.
That's correct, yeah. So just 2 days after the Elimination Chamber, Shane McMahon he's like, I lost. The Miz comes out to issue an apology. He's like, hey man, this was all on me. This was all on me.
Can't shake the guilt. Yeah, it's been eating away at him. He hasn't slept in 2 days.
Yep. But he begs, saying like, hey, my dad and I got so close because of these accomplishments. I don't know why. I'm a former world champion. I'm a 9-time Intercontinental champion. And
tag thing.
My father, he said, unless you're a tag wrestler, you get the fuck out of my house. I don't care if you've given me a granddaughter and are giving me another grandchild.
Yeah, and a hot ass
daughter-in-law.
Would that be too weird?
The Miz pleads for Shane McMahon to give him. He wants us to know. He's like, I know that automatic title rematches are not. Yeah, they're not automatic.
It ain't a thing anymore. But you're the McMahon. You can do it.
You're a McMahon. Come on. He should have just
said. The crowd actually chants for rematch. They want this.
Yeah, they're like, he should have just said, "You're a McMahon." Like, let's be real.
The Usos come out.
To interrupt the proceedings, of course.
So
and
this whole thing, it's hard to. I don't know who the babyface is here because they both go back and forth.
Yeah, they both.
But then the Usos like the crowd wants to see a rematch. Yeah, I don't know.
And they were chanting rematch. He got them all to chant rematch. The Usos laid into him. And pretty much, we're getting our rematch at Fastlane, which is like, for all I know, like next fucking weekend.
So they disrespect Shane's like, hey, you don't disrespect my partner like that. The rematch is on. It'll happen at Fastlane. So
it will happen at Fastlane, which is great. Did you hear the Miz's mic gets cut off? And then one of the Usos just starts fucking laughing at him. It's like the Miz goes, like, when he ends his thing, he's like, and it'll be awesome. And I think he meant to go, awesome, Uso. That's what it sounded like he was moving towards. But he said, awesome. And then they started playing the music. And then he says, ooh. And then it just cuts out. And then it cuts to the Usos. And one of them, let's just say Jeremy, he's really laughing. So I was like, okay. I think something happened. It was kind of funny. Someone just muted his mic a little too quick, and then we'll call him Jeremy. Uso just starts laughing. So it was great. So we're gonna get that rematch.
Sure. 2.5 weeks, Fastlane.
So yeah, sure. 2.5 weeks. Are these guys going to turn on each other? We don't know. Who's going to go into Mania holding those championships? We don't know. But it'll be nice to see. It'll be nice to see that come together.
Yeah, no, I think they got to do the breakup soon at some point. So I think they'll probably lose this rematch here, and then Shane will probably he'll crack, and then there you go. There's a match.
Someone will turn on someone. Coming up next, though, we did have another one of our NXT call-ups, though.
Oh yeah,
we had a match. Aleister Black taking on Andrade Cien Almas.
Yeah. So fun fact, because Zelina Vega's married to Aleister Black, so kind of a interesting little thing there.
I've heard that. Yeah, no, I heard that. They're always training online. They're always Instagramming fucking boxing videos and shit like that. This was a great match. These guys have some history going back to NXT also. Yeah,
no, the crowd actually chanted NXT a little bit here. Yep. Black wins with the black mask. Good match. Good little match.
So why did it have to be Andrade Cien Almas?
Yeah, no.
My question is just from like and I don't even mean like, again, because I need to go through it thinking that wins and losses don't matter. So, I thought the last time we saw Andrade Cien Almas, he was standing over top of Rey Mysterio after just like beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, in the middle of the ring. There's definitely someone else they could have thrown in to take a.
It's just weird, yeah. It really makes me think, the way we're sort of putting some things on hold, getting those guys into some kind of a U.S. championship picture, Mania. We're not too far away. We haven't seen either of these stories develop, and they could develop in the same direction.
Yeah.
Great match though. These two dudes, just super athletic.
Yeah, no, I love. Yeah, Aleister Black. He's a huge guy, but he does those fucking springboards, the moonsaults, and jumps off the ropes and shit. Like, he's awesome. And of course, Andrade. Yeah, he's got the lucha. whole bunch of lucha shit. So,
and I think these guys had an NXT championship match maybe at some point between these two.
I think is that who Black beat to win the title?
I want to say, yeah, those three guys.
There was a couple months where there was a couple quick title changes, like
like a
Drew
60-day thing
Black,
or something.
And then to Ciampa, yeah.
Certainly. Out of everyone on SmackDown, not involved in what would be the 6-man tag match, Andrade was the best choice, and it was a great match to see him go over on. Next up, though, we had the return. We had the team of DIY standing very awkwardly watching a television.
Ciampa just hugs his belt. He never stops hugging that belt.
I'll know. Well, hey, you got something you love, right? You hold it close.
I like it.
The bar comes out to kind of fuck with them.
Yeah, just insult them.
Did you? The size difference between these two teams was insane. Like, these guys are a foot shorter than Sheamus. Sheamus like 6'6". He's a big motherfucker, and. But it was great.
Yeah,
We got a little bit of comedy in there, which is kind of fun. I love it anytime Cesaro calls Sheamus Shamey.
Yeah,
I like that.
He does all his promos with his mouth guard in, so he's still got that little lisp.
Yeah, he's still got a little bit of a lisp. I've heard him without the mouth guard, and he's it's not bad, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, he's fine. This guy. DIY says they're gonna break the bar, and then the bar laughs it off and go away.
But actually, what ended up happening is that they did beat the bar. So they did break the bar. This was a great match.
Chance for DIY. Ciampa did a sunset flip off the top rope onto Sheamus, but Sheamus landed awkwardly on Ciampa's knees.
Dude, that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, we're like, no, it's first.
Because I saw the way it
was bad.
You saw the way it just kind of slipped out from underneath him, which is exactly what happens. Exactly what happened to Seth Rollins. His leg just kind of slipped out from underneath him.
Yeah. And then Sheamus's weight just landed.
And then did you see that fucking ref immediately run up to him? Yeah. It was funny. Sheamus was the one who took the bump in theory, but the ref runs up to the guy who should be okay. It's like, oh my god. This was a great match. It was great to see Cesaro. Cesaro was great at working with dudes like that.
Oh yeah, great with anyone.
After we finish this, let's definitely let's spend some more time on just kind of what we thought of these NXT call-ups over the first week. Maybe what worked, maybe what didn't work. So we'll kind of skip over maybe how what we think's going on.
Yeah. So Ciampa pins Cesaro with the roll-up bridge. DIY win. We're all happy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and this is, and the bar aren't people to be fucked with either. They're also probably 6 or 7 time champions. These are guys with multiple championships between the two of them, and Money in the Belt, probably Money in the Belt, Money in the Bank, or did Sheamus win a Royal Rumble? Who knows? So these are big opponents to get over, and just great workers. I love this match.
Yeah. One little thing we missed, backstage, Kofi extended a pancake branch to Hardy and Styles.
Yes.
Had to not let that be forgotten.
We're gonna see Kofi, AJ Styles, and Jeff Hardy team up against those kind of 3 top heels later on in the match. Extended a pancake tree.
Yeah. Before we get to that, we had Asuka. We haven't seen her in a little while. She comes out for an interview.
Back. I think this is actually the first time we've seen her with the belt.
Yeah, well,
maybe she was on the SmackDown after.
She won it back in December, TLC, and then she
really. Oh my god, it feels like forever.
Yeah.
Oh right, the Rumble. Okay, so this might have been the first time we've seen her since the Rumble.
But they address it. So the interviewer asks her. They ask Asuka if she feels lost in the shuffle, but she says she feels ready for a new challenge. She beat Charlotte and Becky at TLC. She made Becky tap out at the Rumble. So who's ready? Who's ready
now? You're right, Mike. She did ask that question. Next time you're doing the impression, though, you need to make it more robotic. I
know. I didn't know how far to go.
Where have you been for the last month? And maybe trip over your words. It's not a perfect robot.
Ready for Asuka.
But you're right though. What the hell is going on? Somehow, Mandy Rose comes out to kind of challenge. I love the fucking camera.
The Vaseline camera effect.
I love that.
What's the implication? She's just so steaming hot.
I think that's a look, right?
I know it's an old school Yeah,
I think that's
like
what they're
an
going
old-school
for,
look.
and
Yeah.
she's hot. I
But
mean, I
it's
think
just
it's kind of
funny.
like we're just trying to do anything. And I don't mean to sound like in desperation, but like you're when you're pushing somebody, just fucking try some new shit,
Yeah.
right?
No,
Like
it stands out. I'll give
her
him that.
in-ring ability has made it to the point where we should
She's gotten so much better than
so much better. And I think her in-ring ability has gone to the point where it's like, okay, well, now let's push her in other ways, right? You know, like let's make her entrance more exciting. Let's make maybe if it's her, change something to do with the outfit.
Even her look, like when she ties her hair back, I think that looks good too. I like it.
Exactly.
Her and Sonya kind of
She's-
match a bit
she's
now.
not
They have their
fucking
hair up,
around.
ready to square up.
She's rolling
Sonya-
out V triggers. Like, how are we not talking
and
about
good
this
looking
all
V
the time?
triggers,
They're
too. Like,
good looking
good-looking
V
ones.
triggers. Although saying like a woman and V trigger, I think there might be some kind of
It's
different
funny.
implication. So, but we're gonna
Let's
call
call
it
it
that.
the C trigger.
That's war. Say trigger.
No,
Oh!
yeah.
Halfway through this, we get this impromptu match, Mandy Rose and Asuka. Halfway through the match, though, Lacey Evans comes in, but does the exact same thing
lady.
she's been doing the past couple days.
I know, and I'm loving it more and more now. Like after the third night in a row, I'm like, all right,
Just keep doing that.
I want Lacey.
Just keep doing that. She's building she's building the anticipation. The distraction was enough though for Mandy Rose. She got a quick little shot in, and she gets the
Yeah.
roll up.
Yeah, she beat Asuka.
Yeah.
That's a huge win for her.
That doesn't happen too often.
No,
this was great.
Like Asuka barely ever loses, let alone
Someone like that.
as the reigning champion. That's
I think whether this is a match for Fastlane, whether this is something that they do kind of push forward going to WrestleMania, this is great. I think
either
Mandy
way,
Rose
Asuka needs a match on Fastlane.
It's weird, yeah. I think they've sort of put themselves in the spot where, Asuka needs an opponent, but
you can't go 2 months without.
We
a
do
big
have
match
this
as a
Absolution team with belts that they could kind of go over last, and I would hate to see Mandy Rose getting a push if it's at the expense of Sonya Deville just kind of falling back, and them as a team maybe not meaning as much.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, Sonya's got a lot to offer as well. So
She does, yeah. They were both great in that chamber match, and I'd love to see them involved in the women's tag later. But if Mandy Rose is what's happening for the meantime, then that's the way we gotta go.
Yeah, we'll see how this shakes out.
Next up, we had the final of our call-ups, I guess, for the week, in a match of Ricochet versus Eric Young, the leader of Sanity, who we have not seen in...
Yeah, barely ever.
Oh, God, I don't even know when. Last time we saw him, though. These are two dudes who their paths never really crossed, I don't think, in NXT, or if they did, it was very quickly.
Yeah.
It was a fun little match, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Young, he got busted open from Ricochet's super spinning uppercut off the top rope, I think. He hit him in the head there. And Ricochet ends up getting the win again with the 630 splash. Amazing move.
And you know what? It kind of sucks to see. Yeah, what did it have to be a team that's just getting fucking buried?
Yeah.
But maybe that's just the way that it's got to be sometimes.
Yeah, it's too bad for Sanity, but Ricochet has more to offer overall, and he's more flashy,
exactly.
more crowd pleasing.
We do come up to the main event of the night, though, which was a 6-man tag match featuring all 6 members of the Elimination Chamber, heels v faces, baby.
Yeah. Right before the match, Brian cuts a promo calling the crowd small-minded skeptics, and he says that at Fastlane, his opponent will be none of these men because he already beat them all in the Elimination Chamber.
Which is a good point. He makes a good point. He's like, I beat everybody.
Yeah, I mean, he did. Fair and
Find
square.
me
He
a new opponent.
Yeah. But Kofi hits the Trouble in Paradise on Brian, gets the win for his team, and he's pinned the champion again, just like in the Gauntlet match. So his hot streak continues. And Shane O'Mac comes out after the match to announce that Brian will defend his title against Kofi Kingston at Fastlane. So, woo!
Incredible. The crowd loved this match. We were getting the Kofi Manias, the You Deserve It, everything, which is incredible. And Kofi Kingston, after over a decade, finally has the chance to maybe even main event Fastlane. Don't really know what's going on, but
another fun fact: this will be Kofi's first ever singles match for the WWE title, and only his 3rd shot at the belt ever.
Huh. And so including
Elimination Chamber was his second.
Was the second shot? Huh.
He's fought for other belts, things.
Of course, yeah.
For this WWE title, only the 3rd time ever, first ever singles.
There you go.
I don't think he'll win at Fastlane, but I think maybe they can. If he loses, they can set up him winning at Mania. That's what I want.
Push to him at Mania. Yeah, there's a lot of.
Or even if they swerve us and he won at Fastlane, that'd be super cool. But I don't expect.
You know, there's a lot of space on with these kind of like 6 guys, in the main event scene. Where the chip's gonna fall for Mania? Is AJ Styles get a match? AJ Styles can't not have a match.
Yeah, he needs a match. I don't know. Like him and Randy Orton are maybe leaning towards something.
I don't want to see that.
No, I don't really. You know, they just want Orton on the card, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he fits.
I don't know where he fits. That's it for SmackDown Live, though. This being Thursday, of course, though, we are a day removed from the airing of NXT. Mike, did you watch NXT?
I did actually.
Good, because you told me
heard some things.
Because you told me to do it. I didn't have much time. However, I did watch the main event.
That was the most important part. Yeah. There was one other thing that they teased, and it ended up being not that special. They kind of pulled a fast. They were like, "Oh, watch for a big announcement tonight. Something's gonna change NXT," and then it ended up being just the announcement of the Dusty Classic coming again.
Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which I mean,
it's fun, but they hyped it up.
Maybe it will culminate at the Mania takeover. Maybe.
Yeah, that would make sense.
That would make sense. We kind of build a bit to it. I can only assume there's probably going to be like 6 teams, maybe 8 teams.
8 teams, I think. Yeah,
8 teams total. So
they announced half of them, but I don't remember them all. But we'll get to that as it happens.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see the likes of the Undisputed Era, the War Raiders. I bet we'll see Mustache Mountain, Street Profits. There's someone to watch.
Yeah, Street Profits. I think I remember seeing it there.
So yeah, you take us through this. I only watched the main event.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't have to go over there. I mean, I'll just say who won.
Straight to the main event. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah.
Johnny is backstage with Candice. Ciampa walks up and he just says, "If you need me, I'm here." Johnny says, "I don't need you." And that gets us into the match. Velveteen Dream versus Johnny Gargano for the North American title. Dream is cashing in his title opportunity that he won from the Worlds Collide tournament.
Yes.
So, pretty quickly. And this was excellent. Excellent match.
I don't know. I don't know.
It wasn't the best of Johnny Gargano's career, but it was still a great match.
Yeah, I don't know how you want to break this one down or what you even want to say about it. I can only say like A plus. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Like if I was a teacher,
you can give it whatever you want.
If I was a teacher,
Extra
like if this
credit.
was like a term paper and I was a teacher marking it, like I would just pass the kid on the course. I wouldn't even like all the tests you did and, all the little pop quizzes and projects like that literally doesn't matter. Not to say that what these guys do doesn't matter. This was one of the best matches I've ever seen on a fucking weekly show. This was amazing.
Yeah, it was takeover quality match for these two men.
The way that Velveteen Dream draws you in.
Yeah. Oh man. There was an old woman in the second row.
I saw her.
You saw her? Yeah, I'm glad. She was so into the match. Like she was yelling, she was jumping up and down. I was like, yes. Like she was us. She was happy.
And she
was so happy.
He's so big and long that he's able to play his body to your emotions. It's not like we're,
like even the way he punches, like his arm, then he slaps.
And his wingspan. I mean, the guy has to be 6'4". Maybe he's got like a 6'9", 6'10" wingspan. Like this, the way his body moves just draws you in. I mean, he was my wrestler of the year last year. I'm blown away by everything he does all the time, and he fucking won the ship, man. And
man, wins his first championship. We're very happy for him.
Hell yes, because you know what this means. If he's going for the mid card right now, by the time NXT Takeover Toronto comes around.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell
main event.
Yeah, main event. Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream, and a big pile of piss under my seat when I piss my pants. Yeah, I cannot say more good things about this match. These two dudes, and man, that show there at Full Sail University looks like so much fun.
Oh yeah, that's the home crowd. That's where they grew up.
And it looks great. I love, and I've never really watched that weekly NXT product, but like
Yeah, I don't watch every week, but when I hear there's gonna be like a big match like this or something, I try to watch at least that.
And just like, the fact that it's like a fucking like guard railing that's like 4 feet away from the thing, and the way they're able to hang into the crowd, it feels so. It works so well, and it's really something.
Everyone there loved it. They loved it.
Everybody there loves it, of course. And yeah, Dream gets the win. He's the fucking North American Championship, brother.
He hit 2 Dream Valley drivers in a row, and then a Purple Rainmaker elbow drop gets the job done. Ciampa looked on from the balcony. He offered his help.
Brooding from the balcony.
Yeah,
Johnny Gargano can carry like third day in a row where he just went bam, 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 bing, bang, bam.
Yeah. Although this technically happened previously, but.
What do you mean?
I mean, I don't know when it was taped, but it was taped a little while ago.
Yeah, they taped these things a little while ago, so I guess like.
But it's funny. So sometimes I heard they filmed 2 different endings to this match. Like maybe they did one like controversial thing and then clean, so the crowd doesn't know what really happened. So
interesting.
So then they don't know really what's the finish until a few weeks later, or they don't always do that. But I've heard that things like that happen. Yeah, they had a show where someone came out wearing the belt, but they didn't actually win it. It was just to trick the crowd. So things like that.
Interesting. Or I'm sure you could play it like it would be like you could almost do a show like in 2 days do 2 different shows. One where they do this match but Gargano wins, and one where they do this match but Dream wins. Yeah. And then you really don't know which one's which. But yeah, I imagine it's funny to think though that Gargano had the belts on him the past 2 days. But he was totally not the champion. He was totally in reality he wasn't the champion because they had filmed this in advance.
Yeah, that's what makes it.
You know what? With this, the fact that we just watched NXT, it's great. Which just leads us into these 4 call-ups that we had this week. We're talking DIY. We're talking Ricochet. We're talking Aleister Black. What stands out the most from you about their premieres on the main roster?
I mean, other than the disappointing, the differences in the crowd reactions. Yep. Obviously, SmackDown, they were treated the way they should have been, but no, wrestling wise, they were good. They put on the show that we expect from them. They all won all their matches. Yeah, I was happy with how they were treated booking wise. Yeah,
they were certainly booked in good matches. However, I feel a little bit scared. I don't think the rest of the roster is ready for the NXT roster. Like, look, this
influx of talent.
If you were to take these 2 matches and put which is, and it's tough to say because what we just saw in NXT was a takeover quality match, right? But they aired on television or on their show, weekly show, the way that something would have happened on Raw, and like the setup and execution and finish of Drew McIntyre and Dean versus the setup, execution, and finish of Velveteen and Johnny Gargano, like it's incomparable. You cannot compare the 2, but we should be able to because they're on the same fucking thing.
Yeah, well, I've heard that this year for the Superstar Shakeup, they're going to have NXT like not just involved for the call-ups, but they're actually going to be getting some people from Raw and SmackDown coming down to them. So maybe that'll be a way to kind of flush out some of the extra talent and brings to create even some these things fresh matchups in NXT.
The 4 guys we saw, especially Ricochet and Johnny Gargano, especially, like I don't see anyone on that main roster who could keep up with Ricochet. Okay, so on SmackDown we do have the likes of AJ Styles.
I mean, AJ
can keep up with anybody. Daniel Bryan can keep up with anybody. Mustafa Ali can keep up with anybody.
If Neville is still here, that would be a great match.
But if you throw Ricochet onto Monday Night Raw, which given the size that Ricochet is, he's probably good. Might very well end up on that show. This is a show dominated by Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, and Braun Strowman. Where the fuck does Ricochet fit when that is your approximate main event? Bobby Lashley. It'd be great to see Ricochet and Seth Rollins in a match, but unless they give Ricochet a fucking skyrocket push to the top, he's gonna have to work his way up there. Seth Rollins' first opponent, if he wins that match at Mania, is not going to be a call-up.
Yeah, no, I think Ricochet fits in a lot better on SmackDown
and it seems like all of these guys fit in better on SmackDown. It's really funny to watch. Even when I was watching that DIY match on SmackDown, the differences I could see with how Cesaro keeps up and how Sheamus keeps up. Cesaro is a freak athlete. Yeah. One of the best like best in-ring performers they have on that roster. He could keep up with those guys. When he takes that fucking slingshot DDT, when you like to do it the right way, you should land and your body should be completely fucking vertical. Yeah. That looks the best, right? And it's like Bobby Lashley's not gonna be able to do that.
Hell no.
Baron Corbin is not going to be able to fucking do that. I'm so scared for these people coming up and then either getting lost in what is the current roster, or possibly even just as scary, having the current roster getting lost because of these new dudes.
Mm-hmm. Only time will tell.
That's sort of the way that's sort of the takeaway that I had from that. It's really just gonna be so much how they're used. Because there's no one on Raw that could keep up with any of those fucking dudes.
Yeah, no. It seems like this is not a one-off thing. Like, I don't know if they're gonna be on every week, but I think we can expect to see more appearances from them before WrestleMania. If it's gonna be the same group of four, if they're gonna start, give other people a shot.
Have other people,
week to week.
And like we said before, EC3 didn't even show up on this one, right? Is he still part of this call-up thing?
Well, I think he's still officially. I think it's weird that one wave is kind of getting overshadowed. If this is the next wave,
yeah,
it really is. The other one hasn't even had a chance to do anything.
and it's been 2 months that we've been told Lacey Evans is coming up, and she doesn't have a fucking brand or a voice yet.
Yeah, she did have the one good thing at Royal Rumble.
She did, she was in there for like 30 minutes.
That was,
but
that's all we've seen of her
in that weekly show. In that one person just clicking on the television and happens to end up on SmackDown Live or something. One more weird thing I noticed, and I don't know if this is a difference between NXT or not, or maybe I just noticed it with this match, but big old spoiler for those in the wrestler community. Which I'm sure you know, Mike. It's like when you're doing your super kick, you slap your leg.
Yeah,
that's how you get that sound. That's that fucking smack.
Yeah.
And it was really funny, like I mentioned before, or like I was mentioning earlier on in the show, about there being these two. There's the people who see it live and the people who see it on television. Live, I feel like it's all you're more in for the sounds, so you're always slapping your fucking leg. Because you want those. It doesn't matter if the crowd sees you slapping your leg.
Oh, we don't care.
No one's filming there's one camera filming a PWG show, right? So it doesn't matter.
It's almost like it's part of the move. It's part of the execution.
It's almost like it's part of the move. But it was really funny.
Like how a hockey player lifts up his leg to take a wrist shot. A wrestler slaps his thigh to follow through.
It's just part of the move. It was really funny watching. I've never noticed it so much than I did. Like, you see it every once in a while. I never noticed it so much than I did in that DIY. I believe it was the bar DIY match, because Johnny Gargano is a big slapper. He's a big slapper. And it was like the way, no matter what camera they cut to, I could always see, like, it was like he made contact with his foot and his hand, and I was like, damn it, like, no, cut to that camera. It was really weird. And I was trying to like put it in my mind, like, what's different here? Like, what am I noticing different? It's really funny. I don't know if that's just something that maybe the kids at home listening right now didn't know.
Now you're ruining, exposing the business.
I'm exposing the business. Well, I think you. That's the new segment, exposing the business. I think you last week mentioned that Shawn Michaels would always have gum in his mouth.
Yeah, the spit. So a lot of guys do that, even if you don't have gum. But a lot of times.
Yeah, just have a big
right when you get kicked. It looks great. But the gum makes it look like a tooth or something goes flying into the third row.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Meanwhile, you just get someone spit on your face.
Yeah, it's like, that's like when Triple H does his entrance. He just spits on you.
It gets like stuck in your beard.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be disgusting. That would be disgusting. That's all I have to say about these NXT call-ups. I love the performances of everybody, and I think that's a fucking call for the main roster. Like, step your shit up. Step your shit up, because we have people who work under the guise of this company who are better than you are. So fucking
they're ready for your spots.
Improve. They'll take your job. They don't give a fuck. They'll take your job. So that's all I got. Do you have anything else to shoot there for this week?
Oh, I think we covered all the mostly everything.
We covered everything in this long 2 hours. Mike, we have 2 more things left to do on the show. We always like to put something over. Mike, do you have something to put over this week?
Yeah, so I guess kind of similar to last week. I think you put over the tech, the audio, video crew type people
at the AEW rally.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw. They did a stream of when they were building the Elimination Chamber.
Okay,
it's like I don't know. You could watch, and during the stream, some guy like fell or something. You see like these 4 guys working on something, and in the background you just hear a big crash, and they go like oh, and then people go running over. And
really?
So anyways, I'm putting over the WWE ring crew or just wrestling ring crews because they build this shit. They go like fucking 5 days a week all over their town. When the show ends at 11, they're there till like 2 or 3 in the morning tearing things down, and they put in hard work. So I'm putting over the WWE ring crew.
That's great.
This guy fell off the chamber and didn't even get it.
Fell off the chamber. Shane's never even done that. Like that. No, yeah, you're totally right. It was really funny. I have a friend who in the tech business here in the city who remember when we went SmackDown, I guess it would be 2 summers ago.
Yeah.
She built like the truss and the lights over top of the ring.
Oh, that's cool.
I thought it was pretty funny, and she saw a photo I posted, and she's like, "No shit, I was just there building that like 2 days ago." I'm like, "No shit, that's real cool."
Oh, that's cool.
They work real hard. That sounds great, Mike. You know what? This week I'm gonna put over. I'm putting over T.J. Perkins's tattoos.
You like them, huh?
They
don't. For a man with that much money, I would think he'd be able to get some better work done.
I remember T.J. Perkins being a clean-cut,
he was
a clean-skinned type of guy, and in the last 6 months, you definitely know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you've seen.
Yeah, no, I've seen him. And we're both big fans of tattoos, but
we both got a lot of tattoos. This guy went 0 to 100 in fucking like 2 months. I saw
some of the work, like some of them, the quality is questionable. I mean, I don't.
So the first one I saw,
you get what you like.
What enlightened me to this was right on the back of the palm, this like star thing, and that's the thing. I don't mean to knock any of these. I'm sure many of these are significant to him culturally.
I mean, if you like them, that's all that matters.
But whoa, he just jumped. It just immediately. He's just covered with each fucking tattoo.
Oh,
it's insane.
He's inked up.
And they're just oddly placed too. It's like there's like 6 different styles going on. No, of course, and I don't mean any disrespect. It's just I just putting over tattoos, man. I'm putting over wrestling tattoos.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of great wrestlers with cool tattoos out there. So,
that's all it comes down to. That's all it comes down to. See if I'm not putting over Rey Mysterio's tattoos because we know that he's hot shit. We know what's going on there.
Yeah. All right.
That's it. That's what I'm putting over. And Mike, if I put that over this week, that means we only have one more little thing to do.
Yes.
And that is, Mike, who was your
Mr. Wrestler of the week? Wrestler of the week.
So I'm split.
the first ever split?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Can I split?
I don't know. I didn't.
I don't know.
Guess
Anyway, I can say.
Sure.
Well, these two men. It is Black History Month, and they're representing their kind well. Not that that has anything to do with their talent. Both men, Kofi Kingston and Velveteen Dream, put on great performances this week. Dream captured the title. Kofi didn't. I don't know. Who's your wrestler of the week? I'll decide after.
My wrestler of the week was the Velveteen Dream, of course. It's crazy. I've never been so hot on a wrestler. Maybe AJ Styles, but just seeing. Yeah. No, Velveteen does it again and again and again. He was my wrestler of the year last year, and he continues to just. He's going to be so dominant. And dude, if he's actually at that Takeover Toronto. It's true. I'm gonna piss my pants. I'm gonna piss my pants with either him winning something or I'm gonna piss my pants and cry when I do like a thank you Dream clap. Because it means he lost and he's moving up. I don't care what it's gonna be, but this dude. And it's really funny for me to see a guy like Velveteen Dream. So because NXT being, especially the men's roster, being kind of like 95% indie dudes.
Yeah.
Right? It's all indie dudes who kind of, eventually get signed. And then here's Velveteen Dream. Here's a guy who is like very much
homegrown.
Very much so a WWE product. And Vince McMahon loves dudes who came up his way. That's why we see Baron Corbin.
He's like 22 or something.
That's why we see
like
Baron Corbin
young.
all the time. Just because Baron Corbin is a fucking Performance Center graduate.
Yeah.
He's never done anything else. He's never been anywhere else, So for Vince, he's just like a faithful dog coming home after after a hunt or something, right?
Yeah.
And Velveteen is one of these dudes, and I don't.
Dog comes home. He's been out hunting. What'd you get for me?
What'd you get? Hey, what'd you get for me? And it's just it's so great to see, and also kind of fun. It's fun to see that difference. You have Baron Corbin, Velveteen Dream, two dudes who came out of the exact same program. Look at the difference.
Yeah.
Right? It really goes to show that, you work hard at your fucking craft, and Velveteen has just fucking, and he's at this point right now, he has made pinpointed, dissected, made every single thing he does meaningful and impactful. And every single time we see him, the way he moves his arms when he punches, his facial expressions,
it's perfect.
Everything he does is
bandana, everything.
Everything he does is incredibly carefully calculated, but meaningful, and I think that's so important. So I'm just gonna put him over this week, next week, the week after that.
Oh yeah, every week. He deserves it.
And then the week after that. Oh. There you have it, Mike.
Love the dream.
Love the dream. There you have it, Mike. Anything else you gotta say? Any final words before we get this before we leave? Because we've been here for like fucking 2 hours, dude.
Yeah, no, that thing.
Oh my god,
this may be our longest show ever.
This might be the longest show ever.
New Year's.
I think
that was pretty close.
The nerds will have to go back and check the stats out, but it might be pretty close.
Yeah, no, I think that wraps up everything this week in wrestling.
Wraps up everything.
Definitely be a lighter load next week unless something crazy happens in between.
Yeah, unless somebody else is vaguely unfaithful to their partner. And vaguely, I mean, you could be separated, you could be, it really doesn't matter. That's the dirt, though. That's the dirt.
The biggest news of all we forgot. I think.
What's that?
Wrestling with My Family comes out this Friday. No.
Are you gonna see it? Are you?
No, I'm not actually gonna.
No, you don't have any interest.
I mean, if someone was like, "Hey, I got free tickets,"
or when if it pops up on Netflix or something, you'll be
maybe.
If you have nothing to do on a.
I mean, I like Paige. I like everything, but I don't know. The movie just doesn't look that.
Yeah, if you're not into the story, no, that's not it.
Yeah. Anyways, they're not going to show the dirt. They're not going to show the real dirt that people want to.
That people want. We want to see the dirt.
We want to see the cocaine and sex tapes.
Cocaine? She was doing cocaine?
Oh, her and Del Rio, they were doing some bad.
No way, really. That's sick.
Anyway, let's.
I have so much more respect for Paige now.
We can cover. We can do a whole episode on Paige one day. The Paige story.
The Paige story.
Inside story.